This is HBU Huskies men's basketball on the DNA Husky Sports Network. Huskies basketball is brought to you by these corporate partners of HBU Athletics: Houston Federal Credit Union, Marriott Houston West Chase, the Memorial Hermann Healthcare System, Raising Cane's, Under Armour, Firehouse Subs, Pepsi, Shipley Donuts, 4 Points by Sheraton, IBEW Local 716, Jimmy John's, Kolache Factory, and Holiday Inn Express. The DNA Husky Sports Network is your home all season long for HBU Huskies men's basketball. And right now it's just about game time, so let's head out to the arena. Hello, everybody. Welcome into Sharp Gym on the campus of Houston Baptist University, Southwest Houston, on a cold Wednesday night. Glad to have you along for Huskies basketball as your HBU Huskies get set to take on the Southeastern Louisiana Lions here, wrapping up a two-game homestand. Hi, everybody. I'm Lonnie King. Glad to have you along for the ride tonight, wherever you are around the city, across the state, around the country, or even around the world on the World Wide Web tonight. We appreciate you being along for the ride here on the Husky Sports Network in association with HBU TV. For those of you watching tonight, we're glad to have you along. And the Huskies will try to snap a four-game losing streak against a team that has won 2 in a row after losing 8 in a row. Southeastern Louisiana has found the reins the last 2 games in conference play after losing their first 3 conference games. This is a team that won the conference championship last year, had a great year. They're a veteran team with a lot of those players back, a lot of main contributors back this year. And, of course, some coaching stability now in the program. Jay Ladner is into his 5th season now as the head man at Southeastern Louisiana. And so they've developed a nice chemistry at Southeastern, and they're a very formidable opponent. Huskies trail this all-time series 5-6, and 11 games. The Huskies have won 5. The Huskies lost the only meeting last year over in Hammond. 85-69 was the final there. So they'll also be trying to rebound from that and get some revenge for the loss over there at the University Center. We'll talk about that with the head coach Ron Cottrell a little bit later. But first, we're going to visit with assistant coach Stephen Key to focus a little closer on these Lions, our opponents tonight. We'll do that as we get going on the Huskies pregame report. Houston Federal Credit Union and Houston Baptist University have joined forces to put the howl back in your finances. HFCU offers several products and services such as auto loans, mortgages, and credit cards. And HFCU has a financial education program, Elevate, which is tailored to helping you increase your financial knowledge. Stop by any of our convenient locations or visit our website, www.houstonfcu.org, and experience the credit union difference today. Dogs up.
Your heart sounds good, Daddy.
Regular checkups are good for many things.
No tumors. Uh-oh. Your colon sounds funny.
But they can't detect everything. At the Memorial Hermann Wellness Institute, get a full body scan, heart scan, or virtual colonoscopy to help you find problems early enough to do something about them.
I'm glad you're okay, Daddy.
Schedule your scan today. Call 713-222-CARE. Memorial Hermann, for your whole life.
You're listening to the Husky Sports Network, powered by DNA Studios. Back on the Huskies pregame report, it's time to focus our eye on the opponent, the Southeastern Louisiana Lions. And tonight we visit with assistant coach Stephen Key as we get ready for our home game in Sharp Gym. And Coach, in looking at this team, it looks like Some of their games have gone very much like some of ours have gone this year. A lot of close games, hard-fought games, but games they've come up on the short end a lot. I know it's been different the last couple of games, but they've had some last-second buzzer beaters against them.
Yeah, they were us before us, I guess. They went through a little stretch. They lost 8 straight, where they probably look back and they say, we were playing some pretty good basketball, but we were, just not catching any breaks. Lost 5 games, in that stretch with, on last 4 seconds, and that's very tough. But they've managed to come back and knock 2 down, 2 in a row here. And it's kind of, where we're trying to get to as well. We've been in some close games here and some good situations, and just haven't been able to turn the corner, so to speak, and knock it out to finish it off. And that's where we've got to get to. And the guys are still working hard. They're still getting to that point, and we just got to keep moving in that direction.
Well, that was a question I wanted to ask you. Is the mood of the team, the attitude of the team? It's got to be in terms of human nature. It's got to be deflating when you come so close so often, and yet still don't get a lot of the results that you want to see.
Yeah, it is, and we talk about it. I talk about it with some guys at church a lot of times. It's hard for 18 to 22-year-old young men to work really, really hard and not see the fruits of your labor, so to speak. Mm-hmm. And that's very difficult to have to come in every day when you've been in kind of the not rut, but where we're at right now, and have the guys come with the same mental attitude every day that, hey, we're here to get better. We're going to try. We're keeping working. We're going to do this. We're going to do that, because that disappointment and things like that do creep in. We're in a microwave society where we want everything to be, to happen quickly. And so when you don't see results right away, then that can be frustrating. But you have to see the bigger picture and know that there is a light at the end of the tunnel at some point.
Names like Veal, Greenwood, Charleston, a veteran team that we faced tonight, and some coaching stability now in that program. Yeah. That combination usually makes for a tough test.
Yeah, Jay has done a really good job there. They've had a lot of adversity over the past few years. They've dealt with just a myriad of injuries. It seems like every year they're losing a couple of guys, and yet somehow last year they were able to overcome that and win the league. Probably one of his better coaching jobs, I would imagine. Marlon Veal is one of the best players in this league. There's no doubt about that. 2-time all-conference guy, defensive, he's just a really, really solid ball player, and I won't be disappointed to see him go, to be honest. Moses Greenwood, to me, and I told the guys this, I think Moses is probably one of the most underrated and underappreciated players in the league that we have. He's just a consistent, solid, workman-like, does his job, and at the end of the night, he's got 15 and 8, and he's made a difference in the ball game. And it's nothing flashy. It's just lunch pail, brings it to it. He brings it every night, and I don't think he's gotten quite the credit that he deserves in the long haul. And then Keith Charleston, I think Keith has been there for 20 years. It seems like, because he got hurt a couple of years ago, and he's been kind of in and out. But he's just a jack of all trades type guy, and does a lot of good things in and out. So when you put those 3 guys together, and then you have an outside shooter like Brandon Gonzalez, you've got a good mesh of players that can really pose a lot of different problems for you.
And they get to the line very well and make a lot of free throws when they get there.
Marlon's always been a guy that gets to the line. He's a smaller guy, but he's fearless. He doesn't mind getting into traffic, taking some punishment, because he knows if he gets in there, he will go to the line, and he's a really good free throw shooter. And then they are a good physical bunch that they run a lot of stuff that is designed to get them into the paint and draw some contact. And so, we've got our work cut out for us defensively, just because they do run a lot of good stuff. We've got to be on our toes and communicate tonight. And then we've got to limit second chances. We've got to keep them off the boards. And the biggest thing, especially these last 2 games, we've got to cut back on our turnovers. And that's been a focal point for us, is that these last 2 games, I think we would have won both these games if we, not turned the ball over. And, we've got to be able to turn some of those back into shot attempts for ourselves. And I think if we can do that, we'll be in good shape.
About to head back out on the road next week or this weekend for a couple of more games. It'd be nice to defend the home floor with a win tonight.
Yes, it would. A couple of tough games, coming up, McNeese, and then at Incarnate Word, which is a tough place to play. And so it would be good to, we're in a string now where you're playing 2 at home, 2 on the road, 2 on, and so it would be good to get, a split of this homestand right here and go on the road in a good mood.
Good luck. Dogs up.
Dogs up.
Stephen Key, assistant coach for the Huskies. We'll take a timeout and come back with more on the Huskies pregame show after this.
Run with UA Map My Run. With your UA connected footwear, you can leave your phone behind. However, if you choose to run with it, the UA Map My Run app will give map views of your route and a deeper look at your workout with additional stats.
We are Under Armour. The future is ours.
Under Armour.
I'm Robin.
And I'm Chris.
We're the brothers behind Firehouse Subs.
Back when we were firemen, when it came to food, we said it better be something good and a lot of it.
That's what you get at Firehouse Subs. Take our hook and ladder sub. Smoked turkey breasts, Virginia honey ham, and Monterey Jack cheese, all steam heated and piled high on a toasted sub roll.
Our way beats their way. If you don't agree, it's free.
You're going to cover that, right?
My money's on the sub.
Love the confidence.
Firehouse Sub, founded by firemen.
Building Houston to compete on the world stage is what we do at the IBEW. It's important to us that Houston knows why we do what we do, not just what we do. Sure, we're the best electricians. We train 10,000 hours to be the best. But we get up early so Houston is built to compete. To be the best, hire the best. Skilled labor isn't cheap, and cheap labor just isn't all that skilled.
The time is now to hire IBEW electricians.
Hi, this is Ron Cottrell, head coach of the HBU Huskies. Thanks for listening to Huskies Basketball on the DNA Husky Sports Network.
Back on the Huskies pregame show, it's time for our game time chat with the head coach, Ron Cottrell, as the Huskies get ready to take on the Southeastern Louisiana Lions. And, Coach, before we look ahead to tonight, we didn't get to visit after the game the other night, but I know it was a real tough, heartbreaking defeat here at Sharp Gym against Sam Houston State.
Well, certainly it was a hard-fought game. Anytime we hook up with them, that's it's going to be pretty high emotion, pretty intense game. And Saturday was no different. Our guys came ready to compete and ready to play, and Sam did the same. And they really were an aggressive team defensively, and I thought they took it right at us from the very beginning, but our guys really responded well, and we were playing without Ed, and that caused a little bit of a change in our game plan on game day, and so that threw things into a little bit of a different situation than normal, but our guys responded well to it, and I thought we really fought hard against a team that's at the top of our league right now.
And it's always easy to look back with 20/20 vision, but I thought Phil getting in foul trouble real early in that game also, on top of what you had to deal with Ed being out of the rotation, that seemed to even mess up your rotation a little more.
Yeah, but that's part of being a quality ball club is you make up for foul trouble and guys being injured and guys being sick and all those kinds of things, and you find ways to battle through and still get accomplished what the goal is. And I thought our guys really did battle and try, and there wasn't any back down. We just weren't able to complete it. That's those are learning opportunities for our guys of how you have to compete, never knowing from game to game what might be the obstacles that are thrown at you, before a game or within a game.
The proximity of the two schools, Sam Houston and HBU, has contributed to making this kind of a nice little rivalry. I know from our perspective it is, and I talked to some of the Sam Houston people, and they believe so as well.
Yeah, and I think it's always adds to it when you win on each other's court. We've won there and they've won here, and so it adds to the rivalry, and certainly them having as many alums as they do in the city and traveling down. And we have a good contingent to go up there every year when we play there. So it is a very good rivalry, and I think that's good for a conference. I think you want good rivalries within a league, and I'm sure the Southland's happy about this one.
Well, tonight, Southeastern Louisiana, this is a team, if we'd seen them 2 games ago, we'd be talking about an 8-game losing streak, but they seem to have found a rhythm the last couple of games. What have you seen from these guys that is different from that long losing streak?
Well, I think, first of all, you have to look at the losing streak. 5 of those games in a row, they lost in the last 4 seconds of the game. And so even within those games, they were playing really well and really competing and playing some of the tougher teams in our league as well. And so, yes, you look at the outcome of being 8-game losing streak and all those kinds of things, but you look at a team that really, really plays hard. They're a very veteran team, and now they've kind of gotten over the hump and won a couple games. Now they're playing with some confidence as well. And so it's a team that is very, very good offensively. I mean, they're as good as any offense in our league. I mean, they have every position can score and creates problems for you. So a team that's been there, done that, been there together. I mean, when you start calling out names on their starting 5, they're guys that we've been hearing from for quite some time. So we know what we're up against, and we know they're going to come ready to play.
And they seem to get to the free throw line a lot. I was looking at their conference games. I think through the first 5, they average about 20 free throws a game, and they're making them as well.
They shoot them at a very high rate, and Veal, I think, is shooting 80-something%, and Greenwood, I think, is shooting like 90%. I mean, they shoot at a very good percentage. They really attack you, and that's why they get to the free throw line. They don't settle a lot. They want to try to get to the rim, and you have to do a good job of moving your feet and keeping your hands off and staying in front, and hope the officials will acknowledge good defense.
Well, what's the challenge to that?
Well, we have to do a good job as a team to even though we'll play a lot of man-to-man, but play team man-to-man defense, and that involves a lot of rotations and a lot of communication on our end. Our guys are getting better at that. I think we're still got a ways to go in what we want to do, but then at the same time, Veal and Gonzalez in particular can really shoot the 3 as well. So you have to close out hard on those guys. So your rotations off those drives have to be very sound, and there can't be any let up in how you guard them, because if you let them get going and get in a rhythm, they're a very tough team to defend.
This is kind of an interesting place to be at in the conference season. After tonight, you'll be 1/3 of the way through, which means you've still got plenty of time, a lot of games to go. But at the same time, you don't want to create too much of a distance between yourself and the guys at the top of the standings.
Yeah, it's been kind of interesting if you look at the standings. There's a lot of teams in the same position as us. Obviously, Sam's sitting in the driver's seat right now, being undefeated, and there's got to be some guys step up and knock them off along the way, and certainly we get another opportunity to do that as well. But then you got a couple teams kind of in the middle, and you got a whole bunch of teams that only have 1 or 2 wins, and so it's important for you not to, as you said, not to get too far behind and start making up some of that ground kind of as we go along. And certainly home games are the place that you want to do that.
Good luck tonight.
All right, thank you.
Ron Cottrell, the head coach of the Huskies, will take a timeout, come back with starting lineups, and then all the play-by-play on the Husky Sports Network.
At Shipley Donuts, we make our donuts from scratch every single day. Nothing trucked in, frozen. And we are Texas born and raised since 1936. Not like those other guys. Shipley Donuts.
Anyone can get you ready. Holiday Inn Express gets you the readiest, because ready gives a pep talk. Showtime. But the readiest gives a pep rally.
Holiday Inn Express. Be the readiest.
You're listening to the Husky Sports Network, powered by DNA Studios.
Back here at Sharp Gym, just about set to go with tonight's game against the Southeastern Louisiana Lions. Let's introduce the starting lineups to you. First of all, for the visitors from Hammond, Louisiana, under head coach Jay Ladner, the Southeastern Louisiana Lions at 6-12 send out this lineup. A senior 5'9" guard from New Orleans, Marlon Veal, averaging 16 points a game. Vaughn Julian will join him in the backcourt, a 6'1" junior from Reserve, Louisiana. On the wings, Brandon Gonzalez, a 6'6" sophomore from Punta Gorda, Florida. And Moses Greenwood, the 6'7" senior from Sharon, Mississippi. And rounding out the starting five tonight, getting his first start of the season, 6'7" freshman from Meridian, Mississippi, Ty Brewer. For your Huskies, the starting five looks familiar. At the point, Braxton Bonds, the senior from Nashville. Joining him in the backcourt is the 6'2" sophomore from Chapel Hill, Oliver Lynch Daniels. They'll be joined on the wings by Ian DuBose, the 6'4" sophomore from Durham, North Carolina, and Philip McKenzie, the 6'5" sophomore from Nassau, the Bahamas. And rounding out the starting five back in the lineup tonight after missing Saturday's game, Ed Hart, the senior from Phoenix, Arizona. We're ready to go. And Hart and Brewer are in the center circle, and the tip is controlled by the Huskies. We are underway, and glad you're along. Huskies will have the first offensive look, and they'll move left to right as you listen in and look on here in the home white uniforms. Ian DuBose has it right side and gets a screen from Hart. Thought about a three, but instead feeds it down in the blocks to Hart. He'll back down, turn around, get it up off the window for two. Ed has started to make that his signature move, and he does it well there. And the Huskies are on the board for first. 2-0 is our score. Keith Charleston for the Lions not getting the start tonight. He had started every game up to now. I don't believe he's even dressed tonight. Here's a jumper from outside, won't go. Veal gets it back. He's going to put up a three and rattles it down through. Marlon Veal can and will shoot without a conscience. He has not met a shot he doesn't like, and he is a good shooter. Gives them a 1-point lead, 3-2. Feedback down low post to Hart again. Cross court, he goes right side to Bonds. They'll swing it back around the arc. Ollie Lynch Daniels into the corner to McKenzie. He's going to put up a baseline three off the mark. And the rebound is controlled by Julian for the Lions. Off on the run. They're going to take off Brewer. Can't finish it off, and the Huskies will clear it. McKenzie there for the board and gets it off to Bonds. He's going to be fouled as he tries to go to the rack. And they're going to get Marlon Veal for the personal. Well, we heard in the pregame show how Southeastern likes to force the action and attack on offense. The Huskies doing a little attacking of their own there. The foul was called before the shot attempt, so Huskies inbounded on the baseline, and Bonds has it out top. Dribbles on the left angle, lob down low in for Ian DuBose, and Ian takes the feed and drops it off the glass for two. He's got his first points of the night. The Huskies leading scorer at 19 a game. And they're back up by one, 4-3. Veal goes to Gonzalez, puts up the jumper, won't go. Rebound cleared by the Huskies. Oliver Lynch Daniels will bring it up. Leave it for DuBose, right side angle, take it to the middle, stops at the free throw circle. Send it down low, intended for Ed Hart. He got tangled up with Greenwood. And the ball goes over his outstretched arm and out of bounds. Turnover back to the Lions. 4-3 our score, 17:43 to go in the first half of play. Julian with the dribble, left to right across the top of the arc. Sends it backside to Veal, and he loses it off his foot. Bonds with the steal. On the run, 2-on-2. He's going to put it up and off the glass for two. Bonds got a step on the defenders. Brewer tried to get back and swat it away, but good positioning of the body by Braxton. And he used that as his shield to get it up off the glass. Now here's a feed down low. Julian sends it to Greenwood, and Greenwood left alone. Gets the bucket off the window, and it's 6-5. Huskies by one. McKenzie goes down inside to Hart. He gets Greenwood on his backside, and Greenwood's looking for a foul, and Hart's got the bucket. He's got four, and the Huskies are back up by three. 16:50 to go. Veal's going to fire another three. and he's going to find the range one more time. Marlon Veal, the senior from New Orleans and Helen Cox High School. He's got 6 of their 8, and we're all knotted up now. Bonds with the basketball from Lynch Daniels. Gives it right back to him. They go left side to DuBose. Down on the baseline to McKenzie. Into the paint to Hart. And Ed's going to be called for shuffling the feet. He's going to be called for the travel. So the Huskies will give it back to the Lions, and the Lions will bring it up. 16-19 to go in the first half of play. Veal angles to the right side, leaves it for Julian. Now Veal swings around left side. He's going to fire a 3. This time it won't go. Gonzalez with the rebound, and he tried to feed it to Brewer down low. And it goes off of Brewer's hands, out of bounds, back to the Huskies. Ty Brewer averages about 14 minutes a game. He has played in every game this season for them, but we see, again, that this is his first start of the year. So maybe a little bit different feel for Brewer starting the game instead of coming off the bench. Lance Daniels with the dribble, right side, going to feed it down low to Hart. Back to the basket, and Greenwood on his hip, going to turn around, tries to go up, and we're going to get another walk. Ed trying to get position and just sliding the foot. Perhaps some contact down there, but none called. We got a timeout on the floor. Tied up at 8, 15:41 to go on the Husky Sports Network.
It would be great if human beings were great at being human. If the golden rule was golden to every man, and the good things that we ever did was everything that we can.
Treating others like we'd like to be treated has always been our guiding principle.
Marriott Houston West Chase, a proud partner of HBU Athletics.
You're listening to the Husky Sports Network, powered by DNA Studios.
Southeastern Louisiana has started this game at Sharp Gym tonight. 4 of 5 from the floor. Their only miss was a 3-point attempt. Huskies are 3 for 7. We're knotted up at 8, though, as the Lions bring it up into the forecourt. Veal leaves it back for Julian. He'll get a screen from Brewer. Drives down, right angle, cut off, and sends it back out to Marlon Veal. He's going to try to set up shop out top. Drives into the paint. Leave it down low for Brewer. Couldn't hang on, but he'll save it. Down to 5 on the shot clock. Puts up a jumper, won't go. And Hart clears the glass for the Huskies. 15:09 to go, and the Huskies can take the lead on this possession. 8-8 is our score. Ollie Lynch-Daniels for a 3. Short, but McKenzie right there to pick it up. And he's in traffic and loses it. And up ahead with a run out is going to be Marlon Veal, and he'll lay it in for 2. Veal got into the paint, did a good job to try and put that one up, but just had it swiped away, and it went right to the Lions, and Veal got the run out and gives them the 2-point lead. DuBose into the left baseline to Bonds. He goes down to Hart, and Ed's going to be grabbed underneath, and that may be on Greenwood. No, it's going to be on Julian. Nope, I'm sorry, 20 instead of 10. Gonzalez wears number 20. Julian wears number 10. So it'll be Gonzalez who picks up his first personal and sends Ed Hart to the free throw line. Ed had some back spasms on Saturday. It's good to see him back out there tonight. After missing that game, he's averaging 12.3 points per game. He's already got 5 as he makes the first free throw here. And the second one will not stay down, so the Huskies trail by 1, 10-9, as the Lions head back up the floor. Jackson Stent has checked in for HBU. He picks up Brewer out in the high post. Julian with the dribble. Screen from Brewer. Gets it cross court. Right side to Greenwood. Spin around as he drives in. Shot won't go, but the rebound pulled down by Veal. And he's going to be fouled. Let's see who they charge this one to. It's going to be called on Braxton Bonds. For Bonds, that'll be his first. And the first on the team as well. So Huskies now have a foul. And this one was a shooting foul. So Veal will go to the free throw line for 2. He is an excellent shooter at the line. He gets there quite often. 82% on the evening, or on the season, excuse me. One more to come. The lead is 2, 11-9. And the second free throw is perfect as well. But you need to tuck that away in the memory banks. You want to keep Marlon Veal off the free throw line late in this game if it comes down to that. DuBose gets it up to Jackson Stent. He takes it up and in, and we're going to get an offensive foul called on Jackson. He went in, and how they called that an offensive foul, I'm not sure. It seemed as if the defender was down underneath the basket inside the semicircle. But the offensive foul is called. That's the first one on Stent. He will sit down, and Ty Dalton will check in, along with Quan Murphy for the Huskies. Dribbling out top, Julian stops, gets it back to Greenwood. He's going to fire up a jumper from the free throw circle and gets it to go. And suddenly, the Lions are up by 5, 14-9 with 13:34 to go. DuBose to Dalton, right side angle. He's picked up by Brewer. Looking inside, he's going to drive to the middle. Dish it off on the baseline left to Lynch Daniels. He's going to take one dribble, pull up, pop from the wing. It won't go, off the iron and cleared by Brown, who's checked in. K-John Brown, he gets it off to Veal. Shot won't go, and we're going to get a call of out of bounds off the Huskies. It'll be Southeastern basketball with 13:09 to go. Brewer's going to check out. Checking in for him is Pop Jop. Brown to the baseline to Veal, and back out to Brown. Takes it into the middle, leave it in the corner for Julian from the left corner. He drains a 3. And now the lead is up to 8 as they have scored 7 in a row. 17-9, Huskies down. Here's a feed inside intended for Hart. He's double teamed and the pass is stolen away. Veal on the run, going to kick it out on the wing to Julian from the right side. He drains another 3. And just like that, the Lions have put up 10 points in a row after the Huskies, on a free throw by Ed Hart, cut it down to 10-9. The Lions have come up with 10 points in a row, including a couple of threes from Julian back-to-back. He's got 6 points now. Veal has 10, and the other 4 belong to Greenwood. And that is all of the scoring here in the first half for the Lions, but it's all they've needed so far. 20-9 is our score, 12:36 to go. This is just the 30-second timeout. So both teams are heading back out onto the floor. Braxton Bonds is checked back in for HBU. So it'll be Bonds, DuBose, Dalton, Murphy, and Hart, the 5 on the floor for Coach Cottrell. And it looks like Southeastern's going to drop back into a little zone defense here on this possession. Bonds angles right, out at the arc, gets it to Dalton, cross court to Murphy. He'll drive in, stop, pull up in the paint, and his shot went halfway down and rattled out, won't go. And the rebound cleared by the Lions. Good look that time for Quan Murphy. Just couldn't finish it off. Here's Greenwood going to fire a three. Spins out. Won't go. And Dalton gets the glass. Almost had it knocked away, but he saves it to Bonds, and off they go. Braxton going to drive in. From the left side, won't go. But Ed Hart there to finish it up with the offensive board. Stops the bleeding momentarily. Ends a 10-0 run. And brings the Huskies back to within single digits, 20-11. 11:45 yet to go till halftime. And Julian again with the dribble out top. Feeds it to Brown, drives into the paint, has it tipped away by Murphy, stolen by Bonds, off to DuBose, 3-on-2. And Ian's going to pull up and gets the little floater to go in. Julian hit the deck. He was trying to draw an offensive foul. But the official said no, and the Huskies are back to within 7. 4 in a row now for HBU. Greenwood has it left side for the Lions. Gets it to Jop. He finds Veal, and Veal's going to lob it down low to Greenwood on the baseline. Goes by Hart, pulls up, and we're going to get a blocking foul called on Ed underneath. Ed got him with the body, and that'll stop the clock with 11:02 to go. We've got a timeout on the floor. Huskies down by 7, 20-13 on the Husky Sports Network.
What's on your mind, kid? Make it fast.
I'd like to work here at Jimmy John's, world's greatest gourmet sandwich shop, sir.
Why do you want to work at Jimmy John's, kid?
I'm perfect for Jimmy John's.
Doing what?
Ah, spring break. A time to chill out and, go hang at the beach. Or maybe lay out at the pool? Wait, where is everyone?
They're all at the Merrill Center. It's the 2019 Southland Conference Basketball Tournament. Teams fighting for a spot in the Big Dance. And it all goes down in Katy, Texas. Call any Southland school ticket office or go to Ticketmaster.
Good references.
Thank you.
But at Jimmy John's, you got to be more than fast.
More than fast?
You got to be polite.
Fast and polite.
Fast and polite.
I can do fast and polite.
Okay, give me some time to think it over.
Okay.
Okay, I've thought it over. When can you start?
Now.
Now it's good. What's your name, kid?
Stefan Avalopoulos.
Too long. How about Ed?
Ed's fine.
Welcome aboard, Ed.
Jimmy John's Subs, an official sponsor of HBU Athletics.
Hi, I'm Ron Cottrell. Thanks for listening to HBU Basketball on the DNA Husky Sports Network.
Huskies have improved their shooting percentage here in the first half to 56% from the floor. They're 1 of 2 at the free throw line. They've also taken 2 3-point attempts and have not made either one. Meanwhile, Southeastern Louisiana 7 for 15. 47% from the floor, but they've got the basketball and a 7-point lead. Jop takes the inbound feed way out top. He'll give it off to Julian. Finds Gonzalez, right angle, back out top, Julian. They'll swing it around the arc. Brown to Julian, and they play pitch and catch. Brown drives in, pulls up in the paint, airballs it, and Jop tried to save it. Braxton Bonds got a hand on it. It went out of bounds, but it's going to be a shot clock violation, so the Huskies will have it. Break there for the Huskies. Good defense to force the wild shot as time ran down, and they can cut the lead even further here. Ian DuBose is going to pull up. A pop-up jumper won't go. Rebound tipped around, still tipped, and DuBose is going to come up with it, and they'll start over with the new shot clock. Good hustle by the Huskies to save that second look. Quan Murphy, right side, is going to lob it in to Ben Yoloko, who's checked in. Backside pass to Dalton on the baseline, and he can't get it to go. He's going to be fouled, though. Got the putback on the follow, but the foul was called before he could. And so Ty will go to the free throw line. Sophomore from Second Baptist High School, who has seen his playing time increase as the season goes along. Dalton averaging 2.2 per game. Just hit 1 of 4 free throw attempts before those two, and he gets them both there. And so now he's 3 for 6 for the season, and here's a ball tipped out of bounds. Dalton and Bonds on the back line with some pressure defense. Stephen Osuji is going to check in, and Ian DuBose will get a breather for the Huskies. Gonzalez will go to the back line, and the Huskies will keep the pressure on in the back court. Julian will dribble it up himself. Cut off as he gets across the timeline by Dalton. Finds Brown, though, to the baseline, goes to Greenwood, and Greenwood loses it out of bounds. So the pressure defense pays off for HBU that time. Forced the turnover, and they'll bring it back up the floor, trailing by 5. Marlon Veal checks back in. Julian will sit down, and Osuji will bring it up across the midcourt stripe. Right side, he'll go to Murphy. Murphy looks out top to Yoloko. Ben goes left side to Dalton. Back out top to Osuji, who's going to drive in from the right side. Off the window, won't go. The rebound's going to be tipped out of bounds. They're going to say it went out off of Ben Yoloko. And that'll stop the clock with 9:37 and give the ball back to the Lions. Gonzalez checks back in for the Lions on the stoppage. Also checking in. Check that in a moment for you, but the Lions bring it up. Brown has it. Maxwell Starwood checked in during the timeout. He's down in the low blocks with Ben Yoloko. As Veal dribbles out top, Starwood sets a pick for him. Veal's going to put up the jumper short. Starwood with the rebound, knocked away by Dalton, and they're going to call tie for the foul. Reaching in and going across the wrist, they say. 4th foul on the Huskies. That'll be the first personal on Dalton. And with 9:07 to go, Southeastern will go to the baseline to inbound the basketball. Veal down low. Yoloko trying to deny the inbounds pass, but he finds Brown, and Brown will dribble back out to the top. Rolling down to the 9-minute mark. Huskies still trailing by 5, 20-15. Veal out top, looks back at his coach, Jay Ladner. Sends instructions out to the floor. Now here's a tip and a steal by Bonds. Loses it, or Osuji loses it, back over to the Lions, and going up on the baseline is Jop. And he gets it to drop down through. That ends a 6-0 Husky run. And the Huskies are back down by 7, 22-15. Dalton drives into the paint, kicks it back out on the wing to Bonds. Bonds with a 3, off the mark. Yoloko trying to save it. He does, but right to the Lions, and Jop underneath hangs on to it. He'll get the outlet to Veal. Good hustle by Ben, just nobody in a similar jersey there to take his feed. 8 minutes to go now. Huskies down 22-15. Veal feeds it to Starwood. Now Starwood sets a screen as he gives it back to Veal. Veal's going to drive in into the corner to Brown. He puts up a 3 off the mark. The rebound tip. And there for the rebound, the offensive board is Gonzalez. That's happened several possessions tonight. Another offensive board for the Lions. Jop. Give it off to Brown. Brown will go right side from the wing. Gonzalez puts it up. Nobody home now for an offensive board, and Quan Murphy clears it for the Huskies. He's going to fire up a 3, short off the front iron, and Jop underneath picks off the rebound. Here he gives it off to Veal. Veal drives in, has it blocked, and the Huskies back off on the run the other way. Bonds is going to go up. Can't finish, though, off the iron. And long outlet back up to Veal, going the other way, and he'll lay it up and in for 2. And it's back up to a 9-point lead for Southeastern Louisiana. The Huskies have had a couple of good opportunities the last couple of trips, but unable to convert. Murphy goes to Bonds, right side, out top to Ty Dalton. Thought about a 3, now to Murphy. He's going to drive in from the left baseline and floats it off the glass and down through for 2. Murphy's first points of the ball game. And the Huskies back to within 7. 6:25 to go here in the first half. Veal will bring it up. He's going to call a timeout as he gets across the half-court line. And with 6:19 left here in the first half of play, we've got a timeout on the floor. 24-17 is our score. The Huskies trail by 7. You're listening to it on the Husky Sports Network, watching on Husky HBU TV.
The real story is I'm in here every morning and have sampled just about every kolache that they make here.
Bacon, egg, and cheese on wheat for me, and then the rest is for the office. So, yes.
Try to copy you, but they're not going to do it as well. We know what we're doing. We've been doing it for 25 years. We do it the best, and our success proves that.
Houston's own Kolache Factory, the freshest, highest quality, best tasting kolaches in town. Over 50 Houston area locations and a proud partner of HBU Athletics.
You're listening to the Husky Sports Network, powered by DNA Studios.
Back here at Sharp Gym on a Wednesday night, a cold one in Houston. We hope you're warm wherever you are. But the Huskies trying to warm it up from the floor. They've cooled off the last few minutes. They've made just one of their last 6 field goal attempts. Still have not connected from the three-point line tonight. Basketball belongs to the Lions. Jeremiah Saunders is checked in. It goes out top to Julian. They feed it down low to Greenwood, and Greenwood goes off the window for 2. The lead is 9, 26-17. Osuji back up the floor. Ian DeBose is checked back in. He gets the feed into the corner to Bonds. Back to DeBose, down low to Hart. Ed's going to go up off the glass, rolls off the iron and won't go down. And the Lions will bring it back up, leading by 9, 5:40 to go till halftime. Huskies now one of their last 7 field goal attempts. Saunders to Gonzalez. Gonzalez right side. Dribbles to the left. Gives it off to Julian, who will head back to the right angle. They play out beyond the arc. Osuji picks him up, but he gets a screen from Greenwood. Tries to go to the middle. Cut off there, and there's a shot clock violation. Good defense that time by HBU. As Veal had nowhere to go. Lost track of the clock, and the Huskies get the ball back on the turnover. 26-17. Bonds brings it up. Into the front court. Leaves it for Osuji out top. Swinging around to Ian DeBose. He's going to fire a 3 and won't go, but the rebound pulled down by Braxton Bonds, and Bonds will get it to go with a reversal up and under. He's got 4. Cuts it back down to 7, 26-19. Under 5 minutes to go till halftime. Greenwood out high, gets it to Jop. Tried to feed it to Julian, but Osuji got a hand in the way. Knocks it out of bounds, though. It'll stay in possession of the Lions. Jop's going to check out. Brewer will check back in. Marlon Veal will check back in. Saunders will go to the bench. Gonzalez inbounding the ball, gets it into Julian. Down to 12 on the shot clock. Julian dribbles out beyond the arc. Looking to go inside, but he's going to fire up a 3 air ball instead, and it'll be Huskies basketball. Bonds will get it into DeBose, and the Huskies will bring it up again. Another chance to cut into this lead a little bit more. Osuji out top. Finds DeBose, back cross-court right side to Osuji. Bounce pass down low intended for Hart, and it's stolen away by Greenwood. And the Lions will bring it back up. Veal across the timeline, going to drive down right side. Penetration, he's blocked from behind. It's going to be out of bounds. I think that was McKenzie who got a hand on the basketball, maybe Bonds. Veal tried to go up, and the hand on top of the ball would not let him finish off the drive, and so they'll inbound it from the baseline with 4:01 to go. 21 on the shot clock. Julian looking for help, gets it into Veal. Right side, and Osuji picks him up. Out beyond the arc. Swings a pass, cross court to the left, back out top to Veal. Now right side to Julian. Back to Veal. He's going to fire a three and got it. He has some kind of range and has given them a 10-point lead. He's got 15 now. The Huskies are down 29-19. Oliver Lynch-Daniels back out on the floor. Gets it to DeBose, gets it right back. Out top to Bonds. Bonds looks for help. Looks left, goes right to DeBose. He'll dribble back to the left. Swinging back around to Lynch-Daniels. He takes it right baseline, cut off. Leaves the backside for Bonds into the corner. Ian for a three, and he got it. There's the first long-distance dial-up of the night for HBU. And maybe that'll get them off center here as they cut it back down to 7, 29-22. 3 minutes exactly to go in the first half. Down low, the Huskies almost with a steal. The ball is going to go out of bounds, and it'll be Huskies basketball. Osuji got a hand on it, and then Greenwood tried to save it down low and could not, and it rolled out of bounds back into the possession of HBU. It brings us to our final media timeout of the first half, and the Huskies trail by 7 on the Husky Sports Network.
You can always count on Houston Federal Credit Union to be there for you because
history of people helping people. Houston Federal Credit Union is a not-for-profit financial institution several convenient locations. We give the Houston community peace of mind when purchasing your vehicle, buying your home, and preparing for your retirement. We're Houston's credit.
I learned from my mistakes.
Focus.
Determination. Confidence. I trust my gut.
Ah, spring break. A time to chill out and, go hang at the beach. Or maybe lay out at the pool? Wait, where is everyone?
They're all at the Merrill Center. It's the 2019 Southland Conference Basketball Tournament. Teams fighting for a spot in the Big Dance. And it all goes down in Katy, Texas. Call any Southland school ticket office or go to Ticketmaster.
Time coming up at the half, we'll have the Huskies halftime report where we will look back at the first half stats, also take a look around the conference on the scoreboard tonight, also update you on the Huskies women over in Hammond tonight, taking on Southeastern Louisiana there. DeBose has the basketball out of the timeout. He dribbles down, tries to go up, and he's going to have it knocked away by Brown. Out of bounds off of the Lions. It'll be Huskies basketball. 2:36 to go. Bonds gets it inbounds, left corner to Lynch-Daniels. Swings it across to DeBose. Down to 5 on the shot clock. Ian backs it out. Got to get up a shot. And he will not get it off in his hands. His bench was trying to scream the countdown. I don't know if Ian didn't hear it or was just trying to get in the right position to get up a shot. It was blocked anyway. But the Huskies will drop back on defense, still trailing by 7, 29-22. Veal hands it off to Julian. Julian will angle to the left. Back out top to Greenwood. He'll leave it for Brown, who's picked up by Ian DeBose. Gives it to Marlon Veal. Veal almost lost it, and he's going to be bumped from behind by Braxton Bonds. That'll be a foul on Bonds. First foul on Braxton. And with 2:02 to go, that's the 5th team foul on the Huskies. Not a lot of fouls called here in the first half of this one. Just 3 on the Lions, 5 on HBU. And we're under 2 minutes to go till halftime. Field lob down low for Greenwood, and Greenwood goes straight up and off the window with it. On the nice little alley-oop lob. Dalton down low, feeds it to Lynch-Daniels. He's going to be bumped underneath. Greenwood will pick up the personal, his second. 4th foul on the Lions, and it'll send Oliver Lynch-Daniels to the free throw line. Ollie looking for his first points of the ball game this evening. Huskies trying to cut it back down to 7. Oliver's first free throw, though, is no good. Comes up short off the front iron. Lynch Daniels on the season, a 74% shooter at the line. Has one more here. And he'll cut it down to 8 as the second one goes through. 31-23, 1:40 to go. Julian will bring it up. Ollie picks him up at the midcourt line. They give it off to Veal. Veal covered by Braxton Bonds. They get it to Greenwood, to Brown, back to Veal. Veal dribbles right side into the baseline. He goes to Greenwood, tries to put up a jumper over Hart, won't go, but the rebound pulled down by Brewer, and his follow is tipped, won't go. Greenwood with the rebound again. Another look for Brown, and finally the Huskies clear it after 4 misses by the Lions. They'll bring it back up, and DuBose has the dribble. Back out top to Lynch Daniels. He'll feed it down low to Ed Hart. Ed goes up, and he's going to be called for the offensive foul. That'll be the second on Ed and the 6th on the team. Ed can't believe it. They're going to say he cleared out with his off elbow, the left elbow. By the way, our officiating crew tonight, Kelly Hunt, Marcus Pettigrew, and James Ford. Ed will check out. And Ben Uloco will check back in for the last 55 seconds of the first half here. 31-23, the Lions will bring it up with an 8-point lead. Julian across the midcourt line, leaves it for Veal, who pops back out, stops in the middle of the floor, leave it for Greenwood, right side angle, drives past Uloco, pulls up though, and he goes up and off the glass for 2. Lead is back to 10. We've got 30 seconds to go till halftime. 33-23, Bonds across the line. Looks for help, finds Lynch Daniels, top of the arc. He'll dribble into the free throw circle, puts up a jumper, too strong, and Veal with the rebound. Shot clock is off, but there's still 15 seconds to go. We're going to get a whistle and a foul. Foul is going to be called on Ty Dalton, I believe. It is the second on Dalton, 7th team foul, so the Lions will get to the free throw line here before the half, and it'll be Marlon Veal. 3 games ago against Abilene Christian, Southeastern got to the line 33 times and made 31 of those free throw attempts. Veal gets the first one here, so he will also get the second. And the lead is now 11 with 13.4 to go. Little housekeeping in the paint. And they'll have to find a towel. Braxton Bonds doing a little mop-up job in the lane, and now we're ready to go. Veal has one, and one more to come here to try and extend their lead to 12. 34-23 right now. Second free throw is good. He's 4-4. He'll check out for these last 14 seconds. Doesn't want to pick up a cheap foul. Jeremiah Saunders will check back in. Huskies will get it inbounds. Bonds to DuBose, and Ian has it picked by Saunders. He'll take it in and lay it up for 2. 37-23, and now we're going to get a foul on Gonzalez as he tried to cut off the progress of Oliver Lynch Daniels. Basically had a foul to give there, though. That's only the 5th team foul. Now they'll get it in. Lynch Daniels will drive in. He's going to float it up, and we're going to get an offensive foul called on Ollie anyway. Well, now there's going to be some discussion. Marcus Pettigrew and Kelly Hunt talking things over. And I think they want to put at least a fraction of a second back on the clock. So they will look at the monitor to try to determine. The initial indication was an offensive foul on Ollie Lynch-Daniels. See if they're reviewing that. They want another view as they still review the previous play. Meanwhile, both the teams huddle around their coaches at their benches. Looks like we're going to have at least a fraction of a second left. Again, they go back, do a little stop motion, reverse play. It's 37-23. The Huskies trail by 14. Again, coming up just moments from now, the Huskies halftime report. Ours is one of 6 games going on tonight. Now it looks like they're gonna try to monitor it with a handheld stopwatch. I think they're saying they're going to put 1.49 back on the clock. So the Lions will have a second, a little under 2 seconds. Coach Cottrell, understandably not happy. Took a long time to determine that. Still trying to get the clock reset. Both teams are back out onto the floor. Now it looks like they're going to go 0.49, not 1.49, so less than half a second. Not sure why they don't just let them inbound the ball and let the clock run out here, but they're going to try to keep working. 37-23. Now we're ready to go. They put 0.8 of a second. Julian going to throw it down court at the buzzer, won't go. And that'll take us to halftime. Huskies struggling from the floor late in the first half, have seen a 1-point game turn into a 14-point deficit, and they will go to the locker room trailing 37-23. We'll take a timeout, come back with the Huskies halftime report here on the Husky Sports Network and HBU TV.
I'm Robin.
And I'm Chris.
We're the brothers behind Firehouse Subs. The last thing anyone needed was another sub shop.
They needed a better one.
We built Firehouse Subs on quality and quantity.
And I'm the quality.
Why my quantity?
Are you kidding?
Try our hook and ladder sub.
Smoked turkey breast, Virginia honey ham, and Monterey Jack cheese.
Yeah, all served steaming hot on a toasted sub roll. Our way beats their way. If you don't agree,
it's free.
On him.
It's on him.
Firehouse Subs, founded by firemen.
The body is incredibly powerful. It's so nimble and fluid, but sometimes we push it too far. That's when you need the strength of Memorial Hermann and our body of affiliated orthopedic specialists. With our renowned Ironman Sports Medicine Institute, they not only get your body back to where it was, they get it to go further. It's what makes us more than just hospitals. We are a body of experts. Memorial Hermann, advancing health.
Tammy and I have been going steady since high school.
Tammy and Tommy, two peas in a pod, as they say.
We have all the same friends. We like all the same things. I mean, we practically even have the same name.
But there's one thing we could just never agree on.
Soda.
I have been begging him all these years to just try Pepsi, and I knew he would change his tune.
Yeah.
So, finally, I had him take the Pepsi Taste Challenge. And go on, tell him what you told me, Tommy.
I'm a Pepsi man.
Right? Gosh, isn't Pepsi so good?
I tell you what, I don't know why I didn't try it sooner.
Me neither.
It's so crisp and refreshing and bubbly.
Like me.
Like you.
I'm always right.
She's always right.
All across the South, people are choosing the great taste of Pepsi. Take the Pepsi Taste Challenge and let your taste decide.
It would be great if human beings were great at being human. And if all of mankind were made up of kind women and kind men. It would be wonderful if common knowledge was knowledge commonly known. And if the light from being enlightened into every heart was shown. It would be glorious if neighbors were neighborly, and indifference a forgotten word. It would be awesome if we shared everything, and being greedy was absurd. It would be spectacular if the golden rule was golden to every man. And the good things that we ever did was everything that we can. Treating others like we'd like to be treated has always been our guiding principle.
Marriott Houston West Chase, a proud partner of HBU Athletics.
Do you know how fast you were going, son?
Call me Ed.
Do you know how fast you were going, Ed?
You mean exactly?
Yes, exactly.
No, not exactly. How fast?
Fast.
Faster?
You were going very fast.
Fast is my job, officer.
Fast is your job?
Yes, sir.
What kind of job?
I deliver, sir.
What do you deliver?
The world's greatest gourmet sandwiches.
I thought Jimmy John's had the world's greatest gourmet sandwiches.
Jimmy John's does have the world's greatest gourmet sandwiches.
So you deliver for Jimmy John's?
I deliver for Jimmy John's.
So do you always deliver fast?
I always deliver fast.
How fast?
I deliver subs so fast you freak.
It's not smart to freak a cop, son.
You didn't order Jimmy John's sub, sir.
So if I did order a Jimmy John's sub, when would I get it?
Now.
What if I don't want it now?
Then call later.
Or I could pick it up myself.
Or you can pick it up yourself.
Because I'm pretty fast, too.
I'm sure you are, sir.
Very fast.
I believe you, sir.
Faster than you.
No way, sir.
Way faster.
In your dreams.
You dissing me, son?
No, sir, I'm polite.
Fast and polite?
Very polite and very, very fast.
Is that a challenge, son?
No, sir, it's a fact.
Let's burn rubber, kid.
It wouldn't be fair.
Why not?
You've got a fully blown V8 Camaro with slicks and headers.
So?
I've got a 10-speed bike.
I'll let you off with a warning.
Jimmy John's Subs, an official sponsor of HBU Athletics.
What's it mean for the International Brotherhood of Electrical Workers, Local 716, to send someone to your job site? It means electricians that pass basic trigonometry, calculus, or algebra are sent to your job site. It means electricians familiar with OSHA compliance are sent to your job site. It means IBW electricians made a conscious decision to improve their life and the lives of others. What does it mean? It means everything. To be the best, hire the best.
The time is now to hire IBEW.
At Shipley Donuts, we make our donuts from scratch every single day. Nothing trucked in, frozen. And we are Texas born and raised since 1936. Not like those other guys. Shipley Donuts.
At Holiday Inn Express, we can't guarantee that you'll be able to contain yourself at our breakfast bar.
Morning, egg white omelet. Sup, lady bacon.
Fruit.
There it is.
But we can guarantee that you'll get the best price when you book with us.
Holiday Inn Express. Be the readiest.
The real story is I'm in here every morning and have sampled just about every kolache that they make here.
Bacon, egg, and cheese on wheat for me, and then the rest is for the office. So yes, I'll pick up every Friday. I'll stop by here and pick up some for my group. So.
Well, I used to think it was just fruit-filled stuff, and then I came here and there's eggs and bacon and cheese and all kinds of good stuff in there. It's like a whole breakfast and a bun. It's great.
It's always a good thing if you can eat healthy and not know it.
When you drive down the street looking for something to eat, you're going to pass 5 places to buy a sandwich, 6 places to buy a burger. There's only one place you can get a kolache, and that's Kolache Factory. It's delicious. You're going to have people that try to copy you, but they're not going to do it as well. We know what we're doing. We've been doing it for 25 years. We do it the best, and our success proves that.
Houston's own Kolache Factory, the freshest, highest quality, best tasting kolaches in town. Over 50 Houston area locations and a proud partner of HBU Athletics.
This is Ron Cottrell. You're listening to Huskies basketball on the DNA Husky Sports Network.
We're at Sharp Gym. It's halftime of our game between your HBU Huskies and the Southeastern Louisiana Lions. I'm Lonnie King. Glad you're along, and welcome in to the Huskies halftime report here. Huskies shot 41% in the first half from the floor, 9 for 22. But that number is going to look low when you consider the fact that Southeastern Louisiana got off 11 more shot attempts. Now, they did not shoot it at a much higher percentage, but they made 14 of their 33 shot attempts in the first half for 42% from the floor. They were also 5 of 13 from the three-point line. The Huskies were just 1 of 6 from the three-point line. Southeastern was perfect at the free throw line as well, 4 for 4. All of those belong to Marlon Veal. The Huskies connected on 4 of 6 free throw attempts. But the Huskies were out-rebounded by 9, 21-12 in the first half. That includes 7-board advantage on the offensive boards, 11-4. Southeastern just dominated offensive boards, offensive rebounds over the Huskies in the first 20 minutes. I'm sure that is a topic of discussion. They also had a 10-8 edge on the defensive boards. The other area that I'm sure is being discussed, we talked about it with assistant coach Stephen Key before the game this evening, turnovers, and the Huskies allowed 12 turnovers in that first half. Southeastern, by the way, had 8 of their own, but the Huskies less efficient at creating points off those turnovers, as Southeastern turned the Huskies' 12 turnovers into 16 points, and the Huskies turned the 8 turnovers by Southeastern into just 8 points. Huskies were trying to go back to a formula that's worked well for him at times this year, going down low to Ed Hart. And Ed started out fairly well early in the first half, but then he started to be double-teamed down in the blocks, and that created some turnovers. Ed's got 7 points, one of the co-leaders on the score sheet for the Huskies, along with Ian DeBose. He and Ian, 7 points apiece. Ed with 3 rebounds, Ian with 1. They're followed by Braxton Bonds, who has 4. Quan Murphy and Ty Dalton each off the bench with 2. And then Oliver Lynch Daniels, 1 of 2 at the free throw line for 1 point. Philip McKenzie, Jackson Stent, Ben Uloko, Stephen Osuji all got some floor time, but none of them were able to get onto the scoreboard. On the reverse side of that, Southeastern Louisiana is led by Marlon Veal, who has 17 points. We've also got 10 from Moses Greenwood, so 2 players already in double figures here at halftime. 6 for Vaughn Julian, 2 for Pop Job, and 2 for Jeremiah Saunders just before the half. And that is the sum total of their scoring. Brandon Gonzalez, Tyron Brewer, K. Brown, and Maxwell Stardwood all got some playing time for Jay Ladner, but did not score. Points in the paint wound up belonging to the Lions. They've got an 18-16 edge there. Second chance points also belong to Southeastern, 11-6 edge in that category. Then fast break points, an 8-4 advantage again for Southeastern Louisiana. Huskies led for 2 minutes and 3 seconds of the first half. Southeastern led for 15 minutes, 36 seconds. Huskies had an early 3-point lead, back with 17:35 to go in the half, but never could regain the lead after Southeastern tied and then took over. Biggest lead for the Lions is what we see here at the half. 14 points, 37-23. The best scoring run of the first half for Southeastern, 10-point run. That's what took them from a 10-9 lead to a 20-9 lead. The Huskies answered that right back with 6 of their own, so they cut it down to 20-15 before Southeastern took off again to prevent the Huskies from getting any closer than that. So that's where we are at the break. 37-23 is our score. We're going to take a timeout. We'll come back and look at the conference scoreboard coming up straight ahead on the Huskies halftime report.
4 Points by Sheraton. Always a great stay. Everything you need. Plus extras you love. All for a great rate. Over 150 hotels around the world. Travel the way you like. Check us out at 4points.com.
At Raising Cane's, we believe in one love, quality chicken finger meals. But creating one love is no simple task. Everything has to be served hot and fresh, not just hot. We use only 100% premium chicken tenderloins, guaranteeing a 0% chance of leftovers. We insist on the best ingredients for our fries, like potatoes. And, well, we can keep talking quality, or you can just eat it. Raising Cane's, one love.
I didn't believe I could do it. The weight seemed too heavy. My competitors were too fast. I lacked motivation, and then I found the Hulk t-shirt. I transformed myself and believed that I could conquer the competition. Now everybody takes me serious because I demand them to. If I can do it, you can do it. Under Armour Alter Ego. Transform yourself.
Firehouse Subs was founded by 2 firefighters over 20 years ago. And once a firefighter, always a firefighter. So they've seen to it that a portion of your purchase at all U.S. Firehouse Subs locations now goes toward providing life-saving equipment for first responders. And one more thing, they make awesome subs.
Now get any of our 10 specialty subs in a new small size, each under 500 calories. Big flavor, small subs, starting at $3.99. Firehouse Subs, founded by firemen.
You're listening to the Husky Sports Network, powered by DNA Studios.
Halftime of our game between the HBU Huskies and the Southeastern Louisiana Lions. Southeastern has a 14-point edge here as we're just about set to go with second half action. While we've got a minute, though, let's update you on the women's game over in Hammond tonight. Donna Finney's squad taking on the Lady Lions of Southeastern Louisiana. The score there also at the half is Southeastern 34 and HBU 22. The Lions, or check it, the Huskies are led by Amanda Johnson, who's got 9 points, and no Huskies in double digits yet in that game as they trail by 12 at halftime. On the conference scoreboard, 3 other games are at the half. Nichols in Corpus tonight, taking on Texas A&M Corpus Christi. And they trail by 1, 38-37 at the halftime break. Lamar is hosting Incarnate Word in Beaumont tonight, 42-35. Lamar with the halftime lead. Just underway in the second half, less than a minute into the second half, New Orleans at Central Arkansas. And Central Arkansas has a 5-point lead, 42-37. 2 other games further along, Abilene Christian at SFA and Nacogdoches. And Abilene Christian has a 7-point lead with 8 minutes to go, 52-45. Sam Houston State in Natchitoches tonight to take on Northwestern State. And the Bearcats, off their win over the Huskies on Saturday, have a 62-48 lead with 8 minutes to go there. Southeastern's basketball, as we're ready to go with second half action here, and we're underway as the Lions move left to right here in the second half in their road green uniforms. Julian will dribble down, bring it back out to the top, hand it off to Marlon Veal. Picked up by Bonds. Now they switch as Julian comes back out top. He's going to drive down, pushing off with his offhand, but no whistle there, and he feeds it down in the low blocks to Brewer, and Brewer drops it down through from about 10 feet out. He's got his first points of the ball game. The Huskies are down by 16, 39-23. Ollie Lynch-Daniels to Phillip McKenzie. Feed it down low to Hart. Turn around over Greenwood. And Greenwood swats at it and is going to be called for a foul. That'll be the third foul on Moses Greenwood. And it will send Ed to the free throw line. Hart gets the first free throw to go. Cuts it back down to 15. The Huskies have a hole to climb out of here in the second half. Ed's got one more, and he gets it to go as well. 39-25. We roll down to the 19-minute mark. Field comes across the stripe. He's picked up by Bonds. Way out top. He dribbles to the left side. Looks for help, gets a screen from Greenwood. Now Hart tries to switch off, steals it, and Bonds out with it. 3-on-1, Bonds to Hart, and Ed loses it but saves it to Bonds. McKenzie puts up the shot. Ollie Lynch-Daniels gets the rebound and puts it up and in. Well, a couple of opportunities there, but Oliver Lynch-Daniels finally finishes it off, and the Huskies now cut it down to 12. 39-27. Brewer out top, going to go left side to Veal. Veal back cross court to Greenwood. Greenwood will stop in the free throw circle. Hart picks him up, and Greenwood's trying to find somebody, and he goes with a bounce pass on the baseline to Gonzalez, and they're going to call Ian DeBose for a foul there. Ian trying to make sure that Gonzalez didn't break free for an easy little backdoor look. Called for the personal instead. Inbound it. They get it out top to Veal. They want it in his hands as much as possible. Bounce pass back to Julian. Back to Veal. Three from the top of the arc. And there it is. 20 points now for Marlon Veal. 42-27. We're under 18 to go. Veal seems to do this every time we see him against the Huskies. Lynch-Daniels drives in, feeds it down low to Ed Hart. He tries to go up. He's going to be fouled. And they're going to call the foul on Von Julian. Julian raised his hand quickly. He didn't want the officials thinking they needed to call a fourth foul on Greenwood. And Ed Hart will go back to the free throw line for two here. It's first one to go. We'll have one more. Back to Marlon Veal, though. He is a senior. Final season for the Lions. Huskies will not shed too many tears for his departure. Hart gets the second free throw to go. Huskies back down by 13, and we've got a travel going to be called on Veal as he tried to get a shot off. Walked with the ball, and the Huskies will get it back. Trailing by 13, 42-29, 17:29 to go. Bonds brings it up. Leaves it left side to McKenzie. McKenzie back to Bonds in the left corner. Dribbles back out to the top and feeds it to Lynch-Daniels. Goes right wing to DeBose. Back to Ollie. Down low to Ed Hart. Turn around with a little hook, and Ed finishes it off. He's got 13 now, and the Huskies are back to within 11. Ed, the leading scorer for the Huskies, 6 since halftime. Ed comes out, and Greenwood knocks him down. No whistle there. Veal takes the feed, drives in, floats it up, and can't get it to go. The rebound's going to be tipped and lost out of bounds off the Lions. Huskies basketball. Ed tried to draw the charge a couple of times there. Veal went in, and Ed hit the deck trying to take the charge, but no whistle on either time. Ed has the look on his face like, what do I have to do to get a foul called here? But the Huskies get possession anyway and can cut it back down to single digits with a bucket here. DeBose out top. Lynch-Daniels swinging around to Bonds. Bonds back out to Ian. To Ollie, right side. Down low to Hart. Kick it back out to Ollie for a three from the wing. Short off the iron. The rebound going to be pulled down by Pop Jop. Jop will get it off to Veal, and Veal will bring it up. Jop checked in for Greenwood with those 3 fouls. Veal yo-yos on the right side, leaves it out top for Julian. He'll angle to the left, now back to the middle. Finds Gonzalez open for a 3, and he got it. DeBose tried to recover, got his hand up, but not in time. And Gonzalez has his first points of the ball game. They're back up by 14, 45-31. 15:48 to go. DeBose to Lynch Daniels, down low to McKenzie. McKenzie cut off, but Ollie saves it to Bonds, out top to DeBose. Ian drives in, right side, goes up, and he's going to be fouled. I think it's going to be on Gonzalez. We'll see, but it stops the clock with 15:36 to go. We've got a timeout on the floor. The Huskies down by 14, 45-31 on the Huskies Sports Network.
At Memorial Hermann, we're many parts working in harmony.
When you live in one of the fastest growing cities in America, it's important to align yourself with a credit union that has a history of people helping people. Houston Federal Credit Union is a not-for-profit financial institution with over 50 years dedicated to helping families that live or work in the Houston area. We take pride in our competitive rates in several convenient locations. We give the Houston community peace of mind when purchasing your vehicle, buying your home, and preparing for your retirement. We're Houston's credit.
It was an excellent choice. As the official credit union of HBU, Houston Federal Credit Union is focused on helping you to continue to make great choices. HFCU will meet all your financial...
Spring break. A time to chill out and, go hang at the beach. Or maybe lay out at the pool? Wait, where is everyone?
They're all at the Merrill Center. It's the 2019 Southland Conference Basketball Tournament. Teams fighting for a spot in the Big Dance. And it all goes down in Katy, Texas. Call any Southland school ticket office or go to Ticketmaster.
Each team with 8 points since halftime. Ian DeBose, though, will be at the free throw line for the Huskies. Out of the timeout. Ian gets the first one to go. His first trip to the line tonight. Ed Hart is 5 of 6 at the stripe. 1 for 2 for Ollie Lynch Daniels, and Ty Dalton 2 for 2. And now Ian DeBose is 2 for 2. He'll check out after making those free throws, and Dalton will check in for him. Huskies go to some pressure in the backcourt on the inbounds play, and Oliver Lynch Daniels is right there with Vaughn Julian in the backcourt as they come up across. Julian goes to the left angle. Out to Veal. Veal drives right, gonna swing around, go underneath, and he throws it away. Stolen away by Oliver Lynch Daniels. Off on the run, 2-on-2. Ollie goes up, and the fans wanted to goal him, but the block swatted away and back the other way to Marlon Veal. A 3 from the corner won't go, and Dalton with the rebound. Huskies survive that look from Veal and bring it back up the floor. McKenzie to Bonds, and we've got a whistle away from the basketball. I think that's going to be on Job. Job picks up his second. That's 4 now on the Lions. The Huskies still with just 1 foul in the second half. Bonds to the baseline, inbounds to Dalton. He feeds it down in the blocks to Hart. Hart has it tipped and stolen away by Julian. Off on the run, and he's stripped by Dalton. Good defensive play. Bonds back the other way, and we've got a basket as he goes to the rack, and a blocking foul for the +1 opportunity. Jop will pick up his third. And so Bonds can cut this back down to a single-digit deficit. The Huskies are within 10 now, 45-35. And Bonds' free throw is good. Cuts it down to 9. 45-36, 14-36. Bonds with a steal, and he goes up and in for 2. Braxton Bonds to the rack, cuts it down to 7. And Jay Ladner wants a timeout. That brings us to a timeout on the floor. We'll take the break here on the Husky Sports Network.
4 Points by Sheraton. Always a great stay. Everything you need. Plus extras you love. All for a great rate. Over 150 hotels around the world. Travel the way you like. Check us out at 4points.com.
Every visit to Raising Cane's begins with a moment of truth. What to have? 6 delicious, fresh, never ever frozen premium chicken fingers? 4 chicken fingers? Or perhaps 3 delectable chicken fingers? It's a tough one. We haven't even gotten to the whole coleslaw crinkle fried conundrum of deliciousness. Yeah, take your time, sister. We understand. Raising Cane's, one love.
You're listening to the Husky Sports Network, powered by DNA Studios.
At halftime, the Huskies had committed 12 turnovers. They've just committed 1 here since a half, and they've forced 5. We're even up in the turnover column now at 13 apiece. Bonds trying to pick off another one there, but Beal saves it. He's going to drive in, and we've got a whistle on the penetration move. Braxton Bonds is going to pick up the personal, his second. Just the second foul on the Huskies. Not a shooting foul, so the Lions will go to the baseline to get it inbound. Moses Greenwood is going to check back in for Ty Brewer. And Julian on the baseline gets it in to Jop, and Jop is going to be tied up by Ty Dalton. It's going to be Huskies basketball on the alternating possession, and the Huskies can shave a little bit more off of this lead on this possession. McKenzie and Bonds in the backcourt will bring it up. Bonds with the dribble, picked up by Veal, way out top. Angles right. Hart pops out high to take the feed, gets it left side to McKenzie. Phil back out top to Ty Dalton. Dalton looks right, going to dribble down. Stop in the paint. Tried to feed it underneath to McKenzie, and he's going to lose it out of bounds. A little bit too much traffic down there in the blue, and the Huskies turn it over with 13:52 to go. 45-38, still a 7-point game. Huskies trailed by 14 at halftime. Julian dribbles it up, picked up by Oliver Lynch-Daniels. Looks to Veal. Veal feeds it down low to Greenwood. Tries to turn it around on Hart, and going to be a traveling call here on Greenwood. Greenwood hit the deck like he was hit in the face, and he's still laying face down there just to the right of the key. His teammates standing over him. Now the trainer for the Lions is going to come out. Greenwood slowly rolling over, getting up into a sitting position. Veal and Jop right there, along with the trainer for the Lions. Talking to Greenwood. He's moving around. He's conscious. He looks like he's a little bit foggy, though. He's going to check out, and Ty Brewer will check back in for him. 45-38, 13:35 to go. Huskies basketball, and another opportunity to take a little bit more off the top. As they bring it up, Bonds will do the honors. Picked up by Veal, goes to Dalton. Dalton dribbles out to the middle. Beyond the arc, he'll go right side to Bonds, into the corner to Lynch-Daniels. They feed it down to Hart, back to the basket on Jop. He's going to try to go in, leave it out top for Bonds, swing it to Dalton, a 3, short. And the Huskies just not finding the range from the three-point line tonight. Still just 1 for 8 in this ball game. One made three-pointer. 45-38, under 13 to go. Huskies bring out a trap on Veal. They beat it and get it down to Jop, and Jop is going to be fouled by Oliver Lynch Daniels. He'll go to the free throw line to shoot a pair of free throws here. Jop, one of the rare Southeastern players who has not been very good at the free throw line this year. He's just a 43% free throw shooter. Ben Uloco is going to check in. Ed Hart will check out. Well, now the officials say not yet. Jop again at the line with 2 free throws here, 12:49 to go. Ed will check out. Uloco will check in for him. And the first free throw from Jop is good. Uloco, Dalton, McKenzie, Lynch, Daniels, and Bonds, the 5 on the floor for the Huskies. As Jop puts up his second free throw, he got them both. Well, I talk about him being not very good at the line, and he looks like a 90% shooter there. Here's a pass stolen away by Jop, gets it up to Brewer. Brewer goes up, and he's going to be fouled, and Braxton Bonds is going to pick up his 3rd personal. And it'll be a +1 opportunity for the Lions. So just like that, the lead is back up to 11 after the Huskies had cut it down to 7 and had a couple of trips up the floor to cut into it even further. Brewer gets the free throw to go. And the lead is 12, 50-38. Now Dalton trying to get it inbounds. He's going to have it swatted away as he tried to find Braxton Bonds, and Veal knocks it out of bounds. Huskies basketball over in front of the Southeastern Louisiana bench. Coach Cottrell is not happy. And I can't tell if he's not happy with the officials or not happy with his team. Bonds has to check out. He will be replaced by Stephen Osuji, and Bonds is going to get looked at by Chris Eaton, the Huskies trainer, at the end of the bench. Phillip McKenzie on the dribble, and we've got a whistle down low, and it's going to be an offensive foul away from the basketball, and it's on Oliver Lynch Daniels. And now the Huskies, who just moments ago it seems like had only 1 team foul here in the half, are now equalized with the Lions. 5 team fouls on either side. Julian brings it up the floor, gets it to Veal. Veal picked up by Osuji, who's checked in for Bonds. Suge watches him as he sends it to Julian. Now a lob down low to Veal, can't finish it off. Point blank look, but Osuji clears it. Up on the run, going to get it to Dalton. Baseline, count it. He gets it to go, and he's fouled. Ty Dalton with his 2nd bucket. He's got 4 and a +1 opportunity to come. Foul is on Jop. That's his 4th foul. So he'll check out, and Greenwood, who has 3 fouls, will check back in. Dalton to the free throw line. He's 2 for 2 at the stripe tonight. And gets this one to go. Cuts it down to 9 again, 50-41. And we're going to roll under 12 minutes as Julian gets it across the midcourt line. Swings it to Veal. Veal loses Osuji. Back to Julian. Julian backs it out. Screen from Brewer. Lynch Daniels stays with him as he tries to drive in, and Julian throws it away, throws it into the bench with 11:43 to go. That'll stop the clock again, bring us to another timeout on the floor here at Sharp Gym. Huskies trying to claw out of a 14-point halftime hole. They've got it down to 9, 50-41 on the Husky Sports Network.
What's on your mind, kid? Make it fast.
I'd like to work here at Jimmy John's World's Great.
Ah, spring break. A time to chill out and, go hang at the beach. Or maybe lay out at the pool? Wait, where is everyone?
They're all at the Merrill Center. It's the 2019 Southland Conference Basketball Tournament. Teams fighting for a spot in the Big Dance. And it all goes down in Katy, Texas. Call any Southland school ticket office or go to Ticketmaster.
Not so fast. How do I know you're not just some fast talker?
I can get your references.
When?
Now.
These are good references.
Thank you.
But at Jimmy John's, you got to be more than fast.
More than fast?
You got to be polite.
Fast and polite?
Fast and polite.
I can do fast and polite.
Okay, give me some time to think it over.
Okay.
Okay, I've thought it over. When can you start?
Now.
Now it's good. What's your name, kid?
Stefan Avalodopoulos.
Too long. How about Ed?
That's fine.
Welcome aboard, Ed.
Jimmy John's Subs, an official sponsor of HBU Athletics.
Hi, this is Ron Cottrell, head coach of the HBU Huskies. Thanks for listening to Huskies basketball on the DNA Husky Sports Network.
Out of the timeout on the floor, the Huskies will head back out trailing by 9. It'll be Husky basketball as Ian DeBose checks back in, and he will do the honors on the inbounds play. Huskies have their shooting percentage from the field up to 45%, 14 of 31. Still just 1 of 8 from the three-point line, though. Trailing by 9, DeBose takes the feed from McKenzie. He'll get it back out top to Ty Dalton. Ty's going to get it down low to Yoloko. Turn around in the paint, tried to go to the baseline, but McKenzie had cut into the basket and Ben threw it behind him out of bounds. The turnover will give it back to Southeastern. That's turnover number 17 now on the Huskies. Southeastern has 16 of their own, so neither coach is going to be happy about that number. Here's Greenwood going to try to take it up, and they're going to call Yoloko for a foul. It looked like he got a hand on the ball. Ben hit the deck, so did Greenwood. But I guess they say Yoloko got him with the body as he tried to go up. Mo Greenwood to the line with 11:18 to go for a pair of free throws here. First free throw is good. One more to come. Southeastern is perfect from the line tonight. They are 8 for 8 from the free throw line. Yoloko and McKenzie check out. Jackson Stent and Ed Hart check in for the Huskies. Second free throw, there's the first miss of the ball game for the Lions. They go to the pressure in the backcourt. The Huskies try to break it. Stent lost it, tipped away by Veal, but it goes out of bounds over in front of the Husky bench. Trying to break the press from the backcourt that time. Jackson was in good position, but just bobbled the feed and was bailed out by the tip away by Marlon Veal. Starwood is going to check back in for the first time here in the second half. And Greenwood will go back to the bench. 51-41, Huskies trailing by 10. Osuji gets it inbounds to DeBose. He gets a screen from Ed Hart, going to put up a three from the top of the arc. Second three of the ball game. Ian's got 11 now, and it's 51-44. Osuji picks up Veal. Veal leaves it for Julian. Osuji switches off on Julian. Give it to Brown. Back out top to Von Julian. He'll find Veal again. And DeBose picks him up now. Veal goes by, tries to get it to Brewer, and we're going to get a blocking foul underneath. I think they're going to call it on Jackson Stent. As he went up, prevented Brewer from going with the tomahawk in the right hand. But it'll send Brewer to the free throw line. .38 to go. Still plenty of time in this ball game. The Huskies down by just 7, and Brewer misses the front end here. One more to come. As much as the Dogs have struggled tonight, they're still in this ball game. Second free throw is good. It's 52-44. And DeBose to the back line, gets it inbounds to Dalton. Right back to DeBose, and he'll get it up ahead to Ed Hart. And Hart has it tipped away by Veal from behind. And you saw that one coming. The little man snuck under Ed and took it away. Lions with the basketball off the turnover. Field dribbles to the middle. Huskies switching defense now. Julian to the baseline, kick it out to Brown, swing it out to Veal for a three. It's going to be good. Marlon Veal with another tray. He's got 23, and we're down to 10 minutes to go. Here's a ball tipped in the backcourt and stolen away by Brewer. To Julian and blocked on the shot by Brown by DuBose. Ian with the block. Stent back the other way. Back out top to Ian. Ian fires a three from the top of the arc. Back-to-back trays for Ian, and let's hope he's starting to heat it up. He's got 14 now. It's 55-47. Huskies trying to stay within striking distance here. Brown out to Beal. Beal drives in, going to leave it on the baseline for Brewer, and he'll jam it down through with the two-hander. Takes him back up to a 10-point lead. Sometimes in that trapping defense, in the half-court trap, you can get caught in a mismatch down low, and that's what happened to the Huskies. Outnumbered, and Brewer got the dunk. Osuji dribbles to the right, leave it out top for Dalton, swing it around DuBose. He dribbles in, tries to feed it into the paint, and Hart saves it, and he's going to put it up and float it in. Ed with the bucket. Huskies with a break there as the ball floated around after the tip. And it came up in the hands of Big Ed, and he got the bucket. Hart now with 15 points to recapture the scoring lead for the Huskies. Veal into the paint, going to lob it down low to Brewer. Brewer backs down on Osuji and loses the ball out of bounds. Osuji was trying to draw the offensive foul. That was not called, but Brewer just dribbled it right off his knee on the baseline. And it will go back to the Huskies. Braxton Bonds checks back in. Ty Dalton will check out. Bonds, DuBose, Osuji, Stent, and Hart, the five on the floor. Ian takes the feed right, or check it left side. Swing it around to Bonds. He's on the right side angle. Out beyond the arc. Stent into the corner. DuBose. He's going to take one dribble, pop a three, and he gets the bounce. Hit the iron straight up and down through, and the Huskies are within five. 57-52 with 7:58 to go in the ball game. Out top, Saunders takes the feed from Julian. We're going to get a foul away from the basketball, and Jackson Stent is going to be called for a foul, and then he and Brewer have some words afterward. Coach Cottrell comes out onto the floor trying to calm Jackson down. And I imagine the officials are going to want to look at the monitor because they were busy calling the foul, the original foul on Stent, when he and Brewer started pushing each other away from the basketball. It's a 5-point game. Huskies have cut it down to 5, 57-52. And we've got a timeout on the floor, so let's take the timeout with them. Come back for the final 8 minutes here on the Husky Sports Network.
It would be great if human beings were great at being human. And if all of mankind were made up of kind women and kind men. It would be wonderful if common knowledge was knowledge commonly known. And if the light from being enlightened into every heart was shown. It would be glorious if neighbors were neighborly, and indifference a forgotten word. It would be awesome if we shared everything, and being greedy was absurd. It would be spectacular if the golden rule was golden to every man, and the good things that we ever did was everything that we can.
Treating others like we'd like to be treated has always been our guiding principle.
Marriott Houston West Chase, a proud partner of HBU Athletics.
You're listening to the Husky Sports Network, powered by DNA Studios.
Back here at Sharp Gym, still in the timeout, 7:52 to go. Huskies trailing by 5. The officials are now at the monitor taking a look at that last little exchange. We know for a fact that there was a foul on Jackson Stent. He's got 4 fouls now for the Huskies. Bonds has 3. They are the 2 players in HBU uniforms tonight with the most personal fouls. Well, the review of the video is not conclusive for Kelly Hunt and Marcus Pettigrew. So James Ford comes over and they'll look at it together. Want to get a third pair of eyes on what they're looking at on the monitor here. Huskies have shot 69% from the floor here in the second half. That includes 3 3-pointers now. For a long time, they just had 1. Now they're up to 4 of 11 for 36% from the 3-point line. They're over 50% for the game, 18 of 35, 51%. And they're 12 of 14 at the free throw line for 86%. The Southeastern Louisiana Lions are under 50%, 20 of 43, 8 of 17 from the 3-point line, and 9 of 11 at the free throw line. The officials have moved away from the monitor and they're talking to each other. And they are still discussing the results here. And now they will go to the benches to explain what their decision is. Kelly Hunt talking to Ron Cottrell. Jay Ladner also getting an explanation. And the guys across the way at the scorers table are as well. So hopefully very soon here we will have some definitive information to pass on to you. Coach Cottrell heads back to his huddle. Well, Brewer, if you're listening there, we do get the explanation. Brewer has been ejected from this ball game, and he will have to head off the floor back to the locker room with 7:52 to go. Brewer got the start tonight in place of Keith Charleston, who had started all 18 games previous to this. Charleston in street clothes tonight, though, did not dress out for the game. Marlon Veal will have free throws here. Both teams in the bonus now the rest of the way. And Veal goes to an empty line, and he misses the free throw here. So now technical free throws for Ian DeBose on the opposite end of the floor. (57-52). No time has gone off the clock for about the last 5 minutes, and Ian gets the first free throw, and the Huskies have cut it down to 4 with no time off the clock. Jackson Stent checks out. Philip McKenzie checks in for him. Jop, Greenwood, Gonzalez, Julian, and Veal, the 5 on the floor for Southeastern. Second free throw for DeBose, rattles out, won't stay down, spun around the rim, but would not go. But the Huskies have the basketball, down by 4 and a chance to cut it down a little more. 7:48 to go. Osuji out top to Hart. Ed looks right, going to dribble that way, give it off to McKenzie. Phil goes out top to Ian. DeBose left side to Bonds. Suji in the corner, back out top to DeBose. Down to 10 on the shot clock. Ian's going to feed it to Hart. Hart will back down on Greenwood. tries to go up. He misses everything. Bonds saves it, and it's going to be controlled, though, by Job. Bonds tried to get a little fadeaway floater on the putback, and it missed everything, and Job comes out with it. 7:13 to go. 57-53. Veal picked up by Bonds in the circle. Goes inside to Job, and we got a whistle on the pass. Foul down low. It's either on McKenzie or Osuji, and let's see who will get the personal. It'll be on Philip McKenzie. That'll be the first foul on Phil. And it'll send Pop Job back to the free throw line. He's got 4 tonight. 2 at the line. 2 more to come here, and the first one is short. It was a 1-and-1, excuse me. Not a shooting foul, so he misses the front end, and the Huskies clear the glass. Still down by 4. 7 minutes to go now. DeBose screen from Hart, takes it down, left elbow, back out to Bonds. He's got to look at a 3. Too strong. The rebound tipped around. McKenzie can't save it, and Veal's going to hit the floor and hit the deck. And the Huskies are going to be called for a foul. McKenzie's going to pick it up. Dubious call there, but yeah, we'll go against the Huskies, and we'll walk to the other end of the floor for Marlon Veal to shoot free throws. Veal, again, a very accurate free throw shooter. Surprised that he missed one just a few moments ago. He usually has no more than one of those per ball game, if that. 6:49 to go. Still a 4-point game. First free throw is good. Starwood's going to check in. Jop will sit down. They're having to go the rest of the way without Ty Brewer. Called for a flagrant foul and ejected from this game. Veal, one more free throw to come here, and he takes him up to a 6-point lead again. 59-53. Bonds will bring it up. 6:45 to go. Hart with the screen back to the middle. Bonds still with the basketball. Finds Osuji right side. Looks for help. Going to take it to the middle, into the paint. Float it up, high off the window, and Suge with his first points of the ball game. High off the glass and down through the cords. It's back to 4. 6:24 to go. Veal will bring it up. Fans are starting to get into it here. The Huskies have whittled away at a 14-point halftime deficit. Julian directing traffic. Now he's trying to motion somebody out to help. Veal comes along, takes the handoff. Now he's going to be trapped out top. Beat it back to Julian left side, and we've got an offensive foul going to be called. Von Julian will pick up his second personal foul. No free throws on an offensive foul, but the Huskies will take it over with 5:58 left. Osuji, right side. Picked up by Gonzalez, and he feeds it to DeBose. Left angle to McKenzie. McKenzie tries to go down inside to Ed Hart. He's going to be fouled by Starwood. Maxwell Starwood with his first personal foul, and it'll send Ed to the free throw line, trying to turn this into a 2-point game. It's a 1-and-1, I believe, so Ed has to make the first to get the second. The first one is good. It's down to 3. Ed Hart now with 16 points in the ball game. One more free throw to come. And the second one is no good. Ed is now 6 of 8 at the free throw line tonight. Still with 16, the Huskies down by 3. 59-56. As Veal brings it up, marked by Bonds. Give it off to Julian, who angles back to the middle of the floor. Left side to Gonzalez. He finds Starwood at the key, and he puts up a jumper just left of the center of the free throw circle. And he gets it to go. Starwood now with his first points of the ball game. And it's a 5-point game as we roll down to the 5-minute mark. Here's a lob down low to Ed Hart. Underneath, tries to go up. He's going to have the shot blocked by Starwood, but he's going to draw a foul. And for Starwood, that'll be his second, and send Ed back to the free throw line. And now both teams are in the double bonus with 5:04 to go. Ed going to be shooting his 9th and 10th free throws of the evening. He's got 16. And the first one is good. Cuts it back down to 4. 61-57. 5 minutes, 4 seconds left. Still an eternity left in this game. The second free throw is short again, though. Ed's missed 2 of his last 4. He's 7 of 10 now at the stripe. And the Huskies down by 4, under 5 to go. Julian with the dribble out top, gets it to Beal. Osuji into his grill, left side angle. Give it to Starwood and get it right back. Beal dribbles way out top. Going to try to go by Osuji, and we're going to get a blocking foul called on Osuji. Trying to draw the charge. He went to the deck, but his feet were moving as Beal went by. For Osuji, that is his first foul. And it's 2 free throws to come from Marlon Beal. Well, we talked about this early, but the one thing you don't want to see in a tight game coming down to the wire is Marlon Beal at the free throw line a lot. Beal tonight is 6 of 7 at the stripe. Gets the first one to go here. (62-57). Beal now with 26 points in the game. And the second one rolls off the iron, won't go down. Hart clears the glass. 5-point game as the Huskies bring it up. Bonds into the front court. Yo-Yo's out top, goes left angle to Osuji. He finds Dubose out high. Middle of the floor, they go back left side. Osuji looks inside. He's going to get a screen from Hart, take it to the middle. Kick it back, left angle to Bonds. Down to 5 on the shot clock, down low into Hart. Hart's going to put it up. They're going to call an offensive foul on Ed. 62-57 with 4:11 to go for Hart. That's his third. Possession will go back to the Lions of Southeastern Louisiana. Gets it to Veal. Veal will bring it up. Bonds with him in the backcourt as they come across the stripe. Screen from Greenwood. He tried to give and go. A roll to the basket. Beal doesn't find him. He yo-yos out top. Talks to his coach on the bench. Now he's going to put up a 3 himself off the mark, and Osuji will get the rebound. Not a high percentage shot that time by Beal. And the Huskies bring it back up. Still down by 5. 62-57. Dubose picked up by Marlon Beal. He's going to get a screen from Hart. Double team now. Bounce pass on the baseline to Bonds, and he's going to have it knocked out of bounds by the Lions. I think it went off of Moses Greenwood, and it stops the clock with 3:28 to go. Wow, this is turning in to quite the finish. Stick around, 3.5 left on the Husky Sports Network.
You're listening to the Husky Sports Network, powered by DNA Studios.
At Shipley Donuts, we make our donuts from scratch every single day. Nothing trucked in.
Ah, spring break. A time to chill out and, go hang at the beach. Or maybe lay out at the pool? Wait, where is everyone?
They're all at the Merrill Center. It's the 2019 Southland Conference Basketball Tournament. Teams fighting for a spot in the Big Dance. And it all goes down in Katy, Texas. Call any Southland school ticket office or go to Ticketmaster.
Skilled labor isn't cheap, and cheap labor isn't all that skilled.
The time is now to hire IBW electricians.
At Holiday Inn Express, we can't guarantee that you'll be able to contain yourself at our breakfast bar.
Morning, egg white omelet. Sup, lady bacon. Fruit. There it is.
But we can guarantee that you'll get the best price when you book with us.
Holiday Inn Express. Be the readiest.
Hi, I'm Ron Cottrell. Thanks for listening to HBU Basketball on the DNA Husky Sports Network.
3:28 to go as we come back out of the timeout at Sharp Gym. The Huskies trail by 5. They've got the basketball. Inbounds to DeBose. He'll go out top to Osuji. And Suge will find Bonds. Down to 6 on the shot clock. Give it off to DeBose. He's going to take a dribble, and he's going to be tied up by Starwood. And that'll be alternating possession belonging to the Lions of Southeastern Louisiana. Huskies caught out on the perimeter there without much of an opportunity to get a look. DeBose was trying to go to the middle for a better look and a 3 from the top of the arc. Starwood just came over and tied him up and gets the ball back for the Lions. Julian with the dribble, takes it down. Osuji stays with him, right angle. Screen from Starwood as they go back out top to Veal. Veal picked up by Bonds. Dribbles between the legs, going to drive down, dish it on the baseline to Greenwood, and he's got an easy layup and in for 2. Greenwood now with 11 points. Here's Bonds back the other way. He's not going to be able to finish it off, and it's going to be knocked out of bounds by Phil McKenzie. Bonds got up the floor in a hurry and weaved his way right to the basket, but just could not close it out. Stops the clock with 2:42, and the Huskies again have to drop back on defense, but Coach Cottrell wants a timeout first. 30-second timeout, so we'll hang on to it here. Huskies have still been out-rebounded in this game, 28-21, but since halftime, they have not given up an offensive rebound. They've only got 2 of their own, so they still trail in that category, 11-6. Now rebounded by 2. 17-15 on the defensive end. Turnovers are high tonight on both sides. 18 for Southeastern. Now 21 for the Huskies. Jackson Stent, the only Husky in foul trouble, or in deep foul trouble with 4. He's on the bench right now. Braxton Bonds, the Husky on the floor with the most fouls. He's got 3. Well, check it. Ed Hart now has 3 as well. Pressure in the backcourt and long outlet up ahead to Starwood, and we've got an offensive foul going to be called on Starwood. They were trying to break the press. They got it up to the big guy, and he went strong to the rack, but Osuji had position and draws the offensive foul, and the Huskies will get it back. 2:32 to go. Now you need some points just about every possession, and you need to have a few on the opposite end that don't end up that way. Hart holds it up out high. Gets it to Dalton. Dalton back to Hart. Ed's going to put it on the floor. Leave it for Osuji. Still time on the shot clock as Suge drives in through traffic, puts it up. He's going to be fouled as he goes to the hole. And the foul is going to be called on Moses Greenwood, and that's his 4th. With 2:12 to go, Jay Ladner will get him out and send Pop Jop to the free throw line. 2:12 left. And Osuji at the line for the first time tonight. He gets the first one to go. Senior from Kincaid, right here in Houston. 3 big points so far. Can take it back down to a 5-point game here. Second one is good as well. Perfect free throws from Osuji. He's got 4. The Huskies down by 5, 64-59. Marlon Veal trapped in the backcourt, gets it to Julian. He brings it up across the midcourt line. Leave it for Jop. They go cross-court left side to Gonzalez, trying to eat up some clock here. Gonzalez dribbles and feeds it off to Julian. Julian picked up by DeBose, down to 9 on the shot clock. Julian between the legs, takes it in on Dalton, floats it up high off the window, and somehow that found the bottom of the court. Here's DuBose going to try to answer with a three, and he got it. Ian with the big tray. Stop the clock. Coach Cottrell calls a timeout so he can reset the defense. And it's back to a 4-point game, 66-62, with 1:34 to go. We'll hang on to it right here. And remind you that coming up at the end of this one, we'll finalize it for you tonight on the Huskies postgame report. Recap all the stats from this game. Also visit with Ron Cottrell, the head coach of the Huskies. Checking the scoreboard over in Hammond tonight. Less than a minute to go for the Huskies women, and they trail Southeastern by 9 points there, 71-62. We've got a minute and a half, 1:34 exactly to go, and the Huskies going to apply some full court pressure. Stolen away by Bonds on the inbounds pass. Picked the pocket of Julian, and now gets it off to DuBose. Feed it down low to Hart. Hart off the window for two. It's a 2-point game with 1:20 to go. Now pressure in the backcourt again. We're going to get a foul called on Ty Dalton. As Julian tried to hook around him, they called Dalton for the foul. Coach Cottrell is saying Ty didn't move. And now James Ford goes over and gets up close and personal to him. Coach Cottrell was just letting him know that that wasn't a foul, but the call will go against the Huskies, and it'll send Julian to the free throw line with 1:19 to go. Lions with a 2-point lead. And free throws here for Julian. The first one is no good. One more to come. Gonzalez is going to check out. Brown will check in for him. This place is starting to get loud here as the folks trying to influence the free throw. Julian's second one is good. It's a 3-point game. 67-64, 75 seconds to go. Bonds across the timeline to Osuji, left side angle. Take it back to the middle, drives in, gonna float it up off the glass and down through for two. Osuji with another clutch bucket. It's a 1-point game, 1 minute to go. 67-66, and almost a double dribble, no call there. They say the ball was tipped in the backcourt. Almost a steal from Beal. The Huskies trying to play some trapping defense as Dalton comes out to help on Beal. Almost a steal, and it is taken away by DuBose. 38 seconds to go, and the Huskies will bring it up with a chance to take the lead. Ian to the right angle, feeds it to Dalton. He'll drive into the middle, turn around in the paint, float it up, short, rebound tip to Ed Hart, and they're going to call an offensive foul on Ed on the rebound. And that'll give it back over to the Lions. It's not going to be an offensive foul. On the loose ball, they're going to give Greenwood free throws. 27-11 to go. 27.11 seconds on the game clock. Shot clock will be off. At the very worst, the Huskies will trail by 3 after these free throws. The fans are trying to keep it below that. Greenwood's first one is good, though. Mo Greenwood with 12 points now for the Lions. He's playing with 4 fouls. Jop is out there with 4 fouls as well. Brewer has already been ejected from this game. Greenwood's second free throw is good as well, and we've got a timeout called. Huskies will talk it over, 69-66. And we'll see what Coach Cottrell draws up here. Will they attempt to hold it for the last shot and attempt to tie or go home? Or are they going to press the action and then try to drop back on defense? We will see. Still 27 seconds left, and you could see either scenario here. The If they put up a three, you know they're going to want to leave themselves at least enough time for a rebound and to get it back out on the edge again for another three-point attempt. We'll see what's in the cards here. The Huskies have already played 3 overtime games this season. Right now, all things considered, you wouldn't mind seeing a fourth. 66-69. They will have DeBose with 21 points out there. Edward Hart. Braxton Bonds, Ty Dalton, and Stephen Osuji, the 5 on the floor. They're going to have to inbound it from the back line, so they'll have to get it all the way up into the forecourt. And DeBose will get it into Bonds and get it right back. Pressured in the backcourt, Ian gets it over to Bonds, and Bonds will get it up with 17 seconds to go. Leaves it for Osuji. Suge thought about a three, still with the dribble. Bounce pass down low to Hart. Hart puts it up, off the glass, won't go. Dalton tried to follow. He's going to be fouled. And with 7.44 to go, Ty Dalton will go to the line for 2. Fifth foul on Greenwood. Mo Greenwood has fouled out of the game here. They're going to bring Gonzalez back out onto the floor. Neither coach very pleased with the officiating tonight. Dalton to draw the Huskies to within 2 with his first free throw. He does. Ty has 6 in the ball game and a timeout. Now is Coach Cottrell considering a miss here and trying to scramble for a loose ball here? Single free throw doesn't do you a lot of good, except that it would keep you within 1 point. If you fouled right away, you send Southeastern to the free throw line for 2, and then you would still have a handful of seconds left to get it back up the floor for a 3-point shot at the buzzer. The alternative to that would be to go with a play where you purposely missed the free throw, fight for the rebound, and either put it back up and in to tie or kick it out for a 3 to win. They're discussing it right now. The Huskies have just used up their final timeout here in regulation. Southeastern still has 1 in their pocket if they need it, but we're down to the final 7 seconds of this ball game. Huskies down by 2. Dalton still with 1 free throw to come. Ready to go. Everybody in the blocks at the free throw line, and Ty Dalton goes strong, and Huskies are going to foul on the rebound. Ed Hart felt like he was pushed, but Kelly Hunt calls a foul on HBU, and they did go for the miss there and try to get the rebound. Hart tried to get to the basketball, but just came away a little short. Ed draws his 5th foul. He is done for the night. Jackson Stent will check in. There's 6.7 on the shot clock. Kelly Hunt talking things over. Marcus Pettigrew. They were going to the scorer's table. We're going to take it down to .744 is now on the game clock. Well, that's where it was on the free throw, so they apparently said no time elapsed off the clock on the free throw attempt by Dalton. And Jop will be at the line on the opposite end. He misses the first one. There's still a chance. So you're saying there's a chance. Even if he makes this, it's a 3-point game. The Huskies are out of timeouts, though. They won't be able to stop the clock. And they'll have to bring it the length of the floor for a 3 at the buzzer. Job's second free throw is good. 70-67 now. Jay Ladner is going to call for a timeout. And that may unintentionally help the Huskies here to set up a play and get it up the floor. You know, though, Southeastern, who's been trapping in the backcourt for almost the entirety of the second half, is going to go back to that. So the Huskies will have to be extremely careful in trying to get the ball up the floor. 10 seconds won't be a problem because there's only 7.4 to go in the game. But you got to get it up. You got to get it into the hands of someone who can get a three-point look. Of course, the most likely candidate that you would point to is Ian DeBose, leading scorer on this team. He's got 21 tonight, and Ian has hit 4 of 5 three-pointers that he's taken. Dalton and Stent will go to the back line. Dalton will inbound the ball. The Huskies will spread the floor. And we're ready to go. Dalton takes the inbounds pass. Now he's going to go up the floor, trying to go to DeBose, and it's off of Ian's hands and out of bounds. And let's see, no, they're going to say, yeah, they're going to say it was out off of the Huskies, and so that might do it. If Southeastern can get the ball inbounds, they've got a 3-point lead. The Huskies would have to foul immediately. Bonds with a steal, off to DeBose, a 3 at the buzzer, down to 2 seconds to go, and we got a timeout. It's going to be knocked out of bounds. Huskies basketball, less than a second on the game clock. Let's see if they put any time back on. Bonds with another steal. Ian had a look at a 3, just too strong from the right angle. But Bonds with .69 showing on the clock. Now they're going to come over to the monitor and check the time, and the officials will send the teams to their respective benches. Well, it's 37-23 at halftime. Huskies trailed by 14 points. They have outscored Southeastern by 11 to this point of the second half. You need a miracle at the buzzer to send us to overtime. That's the only hope to extend this game. Keep the opportunity to win in place for HBU. Marcus Pettigrew, Kelly Hunt still surveying the monitor. And they are definitely trying to determine how much time should go back on the clock, if any. Again, it's at .69 right now. And as they look, they're trying to find the exact point where the ball goes out of bounds. Stop the clock. They're looking at a couple of different angles on the monitor, which is just to our left, and that's why we can kind of give you a blow-by-blow here. Slowing it down frame by frame. They're getting it to where they want it. And I'm not sure they've got a clean look at when and where the ball actually goes out of bounds. There's not a clean look right on the sideline where the ball did go out of bounds. In the near sideline here, students and fans on their feet. A lot of noise at the moment. They're going to go with 1.3 seconds to go, I think. Nope, they're going to go exactly with 1.3. They are going to go 1.3, and the Huskies will have that much time to get it inbounds and fire off a shot. 70-67. Bonds will inbound the basketball. Brown will not deny. And the Huskies will have to get it in. They get it to Dalton. He fires off a three at the buzzer, and it's short. Won't go. Great effort. But Dalton's shot did not go, and that'll do it. The Huskies fall here after a great second half comeback. Trailing by 14 at the break. They wind up dropping the decision 70-67 here. Stick around, though. We're coming back with the Huskies postgame report. We'll recap all the stats from this game and have a visit with head coach Ron Cottrell before we wrap it up for the evening. 70-67.
Are you a graduate of Houston Baptist University? Did you know the value of your degree increases when you actively participate in the HBU Alumni Association? Your Alumni Association actively supports the growth, retention, and ranking of our school by our scholarship efforts. Husky Alumni Network volunteers actively work to recruit the best and brightest to HBU, and we promote and support programs intended to build a growing network of people committed to quality, higher Christian education through our alumni scholarship efforts. We also work to strengthen the bond between our university and the community, and we're your connection to over 18,000 fellow alumni, mostly in and around the Houston metro area. Log on to learn more about our mission and your privileges and benefits at hbu.edu/alumni. And find us via social media on Facebook at the Houston Baptist University Alumni Association page and on Twitter and Instagram at HBU_alumni. But no matter how you do it, connect with the HBU Alumni Association because a strong alumni base equals a strong HBU.
The real story is I'm in here every morning and have sampled just about every kolache that they make here.
Bacon, egg, and cheese on wheat for me, and then the rest is for the office. So yes, I'll pick up every Friday. I'll stop by here and pick up some for my group. So.
Well, I used to think it was just fruit-filled stuff, and then I came here, and there's eggs and bacon and cheese and all kinds of good stuff in there. It's like a whole breakfast and a bun. It's great.
It's always a good thing if you can eat healthy and not know it.
When you drive down the street looking for something to eat, you're going to pass 5 places to buy a sandwich, 6 places to buy a burger. There's only one place you can get a kolache, and that's Kolache Factory. It's delicious. You're going to have people that try to copy you, but they're not going to do it as well. We know what we're doing. We've been doing it for 25 years. We do it the best, and our success proves that.
Houston's own Kolache Factory, the freshest, highest quality, best tasting kolaches in town. Over 50 Houston area locations and a proud partner of HBU Athletics.
Tammy and I have been going steady since high school.
Tammy and Tommy, 2 peas in a pod, as they say.
We have all the same friends. We like all the same things. I mean, we practically even have the same name.
But there's one thing we could just never agree on.
Soda.
I have been begging him all these years to just try Pepsi, and I knew he would change his tune.
Yeah.
So, finally, I had him take the Pepsi Taste Challenge. And go on, tell him what you told me, Tommy.
I'm a Pepsi man.
Right? Gosh, isn't Pepsi so good?
I tell you what, I don't know why I didn't try it sooner.
Me neither.
It's so crisp and refreshing and bubbly.
Like me.
Like you.
I'm always right.
She's always right.
All across the South, people are choosing the great taste of Pepsi. Take the Pepsi Taste Challenge and let your taste decide.
One day, I'll teach chemistry to kids.
I'm going to be an architect.
My dream is to be a chef.
This is a world of possibilities. A world in which people who put their minds to something can really make a difference.
My goal is to help the environment.
Someday I'll find a cure for cancer.
At the U.S. Department of Education's Office of Federal Student Aid, we believe that aspiring minds can achieve anything. So we dedicate ourselves to making sure everyone has an opportunity to go to college. Each year, we provide more than $150 billion in grants, loans, and work-study funds, making higher education possible for anyone at any stage of life.
I can go back to college.
I can change careers. I can make a difference.
Federal Student Aid, proud sponsor of the American Mind. Learn more about money for college at studentaid.gov.
Run with UA Map My Run. With your UA connected footwear, you can leave your phone behind. However, if you choose to run with it, the UA Map My Run app will give map views of your route and a deeper look at your workout with additional stats.
We are Under Armour. The future is ours.
Under Armour. We're passionate, delivering expert neurological care for adults and children. We're dedicated, responding to neurotrauma and stroke with LifeFlight in our Level 1 Trauma Center. We're persistent, restoring lives at our Tier Rehabilitation and Research Hospital. We are Memorial Hermann. And we're making neuroscience breakthroughs every day.
You're listening to the Husky Sports Network, powered by DNA Studios.
And welcome back into Sharp Gym here on the campus of Houston Baptist University. Side of our game tonight between your HBU Huskies and the Southeastern Louisiana Lions. And the Huskies, unfortunately, come up on the short end of the scoreboard again tonight, 70-67. It was a barn burner at the end, though. Ty Dalton took an inbounds feed from Braxton Bonds with 1.3 seconds to go. Got off a three-point shot, but it just not enough steam on it to get it to the hoop or to get it to go in. And you could tell on that final play that Southeastern was going to deny Ian DeBose the opportunity to get the basketball. He had gotten a look after the steal with under 7 seconds to go, but was unable to convert on that, but had a wide open look from the right angle beyond the arc. And then the ball goes out of bounds. Huskies get it back with 1.3 to go. Dalton's final effort just would not fall. The Huskies finish up, by the way, 5 of 15 from the three-point line tonight, 33%. They shoot 47% overall, 22 of 47 from the floor. And they go 18 of 24 from the free throw line. Compare that to Southeastern Louisiana, who shot 49%, 23 of 47. They were 8 of 18 at the three-point line, 44%, 16 of 23 from the free throw line for 70%. Huskies outscored by 14 in the first half. They trailed 37-23, came back, and it jumped out to a quick advantage in the second half, but it quickly saw that erased by the Lions of Southeastern. And for much of the second half, it looked like they were just going to trade buckets, and it was going to stay at about a 10 to 12-point range for the Huskies. But all of a sudden, HBU began forcing turnovers. They hit a couple of clutch threes, got back to within 7 at first, and then cut it down, and eventually came up to get it down to a tie ball game, but never could get over the hump at the end. We had 3 lead changes in this game, 1 tie. The biggest lead for Southeastern tonight was 16 points. That was early in the second half. Biggest lead for the Huskies at any time was in the first half. Early in this game, they had a 3-point lead. And they had the lead for only 2 minutes and 3 seconds of this game. Turnovers, we'll talk with Coach Cottrell about this stat, but Huskies wind up with 22 turnovers, and I know that's too many giveaways to please the coach. But the Lions of Southeastern Louisiana also turned it over 22 times. So defensively, they were putting pressure on the Lions and forcing some turnovers on the opposite end of the floor. And that caused us to finish up, even up in the points off turnovers category. Each team with 25 points off of turnovers tonight. Huskies actually win the points in the paint battle, 34-26 there, thanks in large part to Ed Hart's 19 points on the evening. Ed finishes with 19 points, 4 boards, and no assist. A couple of steals in the ball game and 1 block. But second chance points still belongs to Southeastern, 11-9 the total there. Fast break points fairly even, 13-12 Southeastern Louisiana. Scoring off the bench, the edge to the Huskies there, 14-9. Individually speaking, the Huskies are led by Ian DeBose, 7 of 10 from the floor, 5 of 7 from the three-point line, 3 of 4 at the free throw line, and he finishes with 22 points, 2 assists, 2 rebounds in the game. Ed Hart, as we told you, right behind him with 19. They were the only 2 Huskies in double digits tonight on the score sheet. Braxton Bonds, though, contributed 9 points, 6 apiece from Ty Dalton and Stephen Osuji off the bench tonight. They gave Coach Cottrell some great minutes in the second half. Osuji especially winds up with 20 minutes of floor time off the bench tonight, and the majority of that coming after halftime. He finishes with 6 points, and then 2 from Quan Murphy and 3 from Oliver Lynch-Daniels. Huskies are out-rebounded tonight, 32-24, 11-8 deficit on the offensive boards, 21-16 deficit on the defensive boards. Leading scorer in the ballgame was Marlon Beal for the Lions. He finishes with 26 points. 7 of 17 shooting from the floor, 5 of 11 from the three-point line, 7 of 9 from the free throw line, which is unusually low for him. He usually makes them all or misses just one in a ball game, but he missed a pair tonight. He is joined by Moses Greenwood, who finishes with 15. Then they get 9 from Von Julian, 8 from Ty Brewer before he was ejected from the ball game with 7:53 to go. 5 from Pop Job. Max Starwood and Jeremiah Saunders each contribute 2 points. So the Huskies again come up short, 70-67, our final score tonight. We'll take another timeout. When we come back, hope to be joined by the head coach, Ron Cottrell, to talk this one over and look ahead to Saturday in Lake Charles when the Huskies will take on the McNeese State Cowboys. And that'll be a part of a doubleheader with the women's game beginning at 1 o'clock and the men's game following immediately after, or 30 minutes after. But let's take another timeout. We'll come back with more on the Huskies postgame report.
Four Points by Sheraton. Always a great stay. Everything you need. Plus extras you love. All for a great rate. Over 150 hotels around the world. Travel the way you like. Check us out at 4points.com.
Houston Federal Credit Union and Houston Baptist University have joined forces to put the howl back in your finances. HFCU offers several products and services such as auto loans, mortgages, and credit cards. And HFCU has a financial education program, Elevate, which is tailored to helping you increase your financial knowledge. Stop by any of our convenient locations or visit our website, www.houstonfcu.org, and experience the credit union difference today. Dogs up.
I'm Robin. And I'm Chris. We're the brothers behind Firehouse Subs.
Back when we were firemen, when it came to food, we said it better be something good and a lot of it.
That's what you get at Firehouse Subs. Take our hook and ladder sub. Smoked turkey breasts, Virginia honey ham, and Monterey Jack cheese, all steam heated and piled high on a toasted sub roll.
Our way beats their way. If you don't agree, it's free.
You're going to cover that, right?
My money's on the sub.
Love the confidence.
Firehouse Sub, founded by firemen.
International Brotherhood of Electric Workers, Local 716 in Houston, get up for work each day because we believe building schools to code matters. Because building Houston's hospitals correctly saves lives. Because training for 10,000 hours makes a difference. That's why we get up, because we want to make a difference. To be the best, hire the best.
IBEW, where skill and value lock arms. The time is now to hire IBEW electricians.
know how fast you were going, son?
Call me Ed.
Do you know how fast you were going, Ed?
You mean exactly?
Yes, exactly.
No, not exactly. How fast?
Fast.
Fast, sir?
You were going very fast.
Fast is my job, officer.
Fast is your job?
Yes, sir.
What kind of job?
I deliver, sir.
What do you deliver?
The world's greatest gourmet sandwiches.
I thought Jimmy John's had the world's greatest gourmet sandwiches.
Jimmy John's does have the world's greatest gourmet sandwiches.
So you deliver for Jimmy John's?
I deliver for Jimmy John's.
So do you always deliver fast?
I always deliver fast.
How fast?
I deliver subs so fast you freak.
It's not smart to freak a cop, son.
You didn't order Jimmy John's sub, sir.
So if I did order a Jimmy John's sub, when would I get it?
Now.
What if I don't want it now?
Then call later.
Or I could pick it up myself.
Or you can pick it up yourself.
Because I'm pretty fast, too.
I'm sure you are, sir.
Very fast.
I believe you, sir.
Faster than you.
No way, sir.
Way faster.
In your dreams.
You dissing me, son?
No, sir, I'm polite.
Fast and polite?
Very polite and very, very fast.
Is that a challenge, son?
No, sir, it's a fact.
Let's burn rubber, kid.
It wouldn't be fair.
Why not?
You've got a fully blown V8 Camaro with slicks and headers.
So?
I've got a 10-speed bike.
I'll let you off with a warning.
Jimmy John's Subs, an official sponsor of HBU Athletics.
Recording artist Kevin Fowler.
Oh, I love the sound of fast boats racing, rooster tails are flying high. Love to